Welcome back, episode 55 of Andrewcast, and I'm joined, as always, by the all-knowing Sheldon Fogel
Yes.
here and in person.
Yes, I'm back.
Dropping wisdom on you all.
Always.
And then, of course, our beloved guest, Brandon, who's just all smiles today. I appreciate it. I'm not sure if that's normally how you are.
No, it's not.
Always
Well,
smiles.
you can ask him, yeah.
Maybe he's just
Squinty-eyed smiler.
excited. I had the sneeze is real. I have
Yeah.
sneeze, too.
I get so much shit for it.
Me too, dude.
Yeah.
Like, people are always like, oh, are you like half Asian? I'm like, come on,
That's
dude.
that's low hanging fruit right there. That's what it is.
It's
He gets all
easy
time.
target, man. Yeah. I think the more racially ambiguous you are, though, the better.
that's a good point. Yeah, it's not for guys like you and I. We kind of get something like that, you know.
Yeah, man.
Like I can't even pick up what's going on with you because your hair is a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on with
Yeah,
you?
man, a little bit of a fro.
Somebody said
Yeah.
that the other day. They were just like, "Are you Jewish?" And
I can
that's
see
something
that.
I get
can
a
see
lot.
that, yeah. Are you not?
No, I'm just full Italian, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And you probably couldn't tell for him, but he is Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, my mom is from Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
More you know, man. America.
Yeah.
Sip for America. Anyways,
So my guy here has funny stories. He has a funny, I don't know if you would say predicament in his life or just like his aura that he gives off in his life.
Yeah,
you
so
care
I
to
mean,
explain?
it's not really a story per se, but it's just kind of like my life.
mhm.
Have you ever seen the movie Good Luck Chuck?
Yes.
So you're familiar? Like it's basically
With Dane Cook.
Dane Cook dude like dates these girls so that they go back with their ex or whatever it is.
All right, you better tell me that you're Good Luck Chuck.
He might be
I
the
might
real
be.
life good luck Chuck.
Are you? What rhymes with Brandon? That would be appropriate for this.
Not a lot.
I have no
I
idea.
know.
Not a lot.
Schmanden?
I was gonna say like
Well,
this is how
am I-
dumb I am. I was thinking like Brandon, but that's the same
yeah.
word. I'm sorry, I'm slow today.
No, it's okay.
Just ignore
but,
me,
but,
man.
you know, everyone calls me B-Rod, so that might be a little bit easier. to rhyme
B-Route?
with. B-Rod.
Be Rod.
Yeah, Rodriguez.
Dang, dog. I like that.
So anyways, I basically this has happened 6 times in my dating life is where I'll be either dating a girl or kind of, you know, we're just doing our thing, and the very next person that she's with has become their husband.
How
and
wild is that?
I'm 24, so this is a small sample size, but it's, you know, people don't really get married at 24, like not a lot.
Has this happened repeatedly?
Yeah, so there's 2. Yes, so
Oh yeah.
two are currently married, 1 is engaged, and then there's 3 that are long-term boyfriends.
And this is directly the next
Yeah,
guy
the very next guy.
after him.
Maybe. Well, no, I don't. I gotta ask you. Are you good in a relationship? Like, how would you consider yourself?
Here's a
Deep
deep
cut,
dive. I
deep
told
cut.
you it's gonna be deep.
No,
cuts.
it's good. It's good. Probably I've only actually been in 2 what I would consider serious relationships where
Okay.
they've gone for like longer than 4 months or so.
Mhm.
I would say I'm probably not that great. I mean, if we're being honest, I'm probably not the best.
Right.
I've been working on it and trying to.
Right.
But that's probably part of the reason I would say. I don't know. I don't know. I like to play. I don't know. I like to play the field, I guess, or I used to. I try not to anymore, but
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's interesting because I guess the logic is that maybe they're so desperate not to be in a situation like that again that they just run off with the first person they meet. Or
yeah. So I was thinking about that on the way over here. I was like, what
Uh-huh.
could be like an explanation for something like that? And I was thinking
Right.
that the only thing that really made sense to me is that like maybe that I'm like a little bit outside of what they normally go for.
Right.
Yeah.
So like they have their fun with somebody like me, and
Right.
then they want to settle down after that. I don't know.
Dang, man.
Yeah. So you're the party boy phase.
I was.
No, I'm saying for them.
Oh, yeah,
For
for them, yeah, for sure.
Man.
That's what I think it is.
And this isn't a strategy for you. This is just something that happens.
No, of course not. I don't want it to be like a thing.
I don't know, man.
like-
Maybe he's like a grand puppet master,
Yeah,
bro.
because we'll be at the
he just
office.
likes playing with people.
Yeah.
We'll be at the office, and I'll pull up a picture and just be like, "Damn, bro, what? Another one."
Another one bites the dust. I just found out about another one today. Yeah,
Wow, man.
yeah.
This is interesting. I mean, I can't relate, man, but it sounds like you have a talent. Like, it sounds like you really could be that character. Like,
Yeah.
someone could pay you money.
Yeah, so ladies, you know, if you want to find your husband, like, what up?
If you want to find your husband, you
Call
know,
1-800 B-Rod.
take a ride on the B-Rod.
You know. Take it for a spin.
Take a ride on the B-Rod.
30-day trial.
Right, listen, 30-day trial.
So far, 100% guaranteed.
After that,
So yeah.
After that, it's like online dating, except every match that you get is the one. So yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. So I guess, you know, your dating life is pretty active, and that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do the apps and that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I missed that. I missed it completely because I got involved in a relationship the last month of high school, so
Hey, let me tell you something.
it wasn't there.
Didn't miss much. Hey,
He's
Yeah.
not wrong. He's not wrong.
you didn't miss much.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I'm not with the phase.
I'm not a fan. Even though I use them, it's just because it's
Convenience.
everyone uses it. That's the thing.
I think it's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
It just strikes me as weird. Like, even now, I can't shake it. It just seems
Right.
a bit strange.
Can't shake it like you can't let go of it or you
No,
don't want to use it.
I know that everything is supposed to be convenient now because of the smartphone,
Right.
but now meeting people and making a connection is also like,
Yeah.
but something. Obviously, people don't use dating apps for connections, right? It's pretty straightforward sometimes.
It
But-
depends on the ones you use, I think, because there's so many of them out there now. Like,
Yeah.
like the Tinder. I don't even use the Tinder because of exactly what you just said. Like,
Right.
you go onto Tinder, like, you know what it's for. You know what's up.
Yeah, man. So it's just a weird vibe. I feel like Instagram is the new dating app. I feel like
Really?
Instagram, yeah, man, because you slide into the DMs, and that's just as lethal. Think about it.
Is it like the old school Facebook Messenger?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Remember that back
Oh,
in the day?
bro, there's some uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, if you go
Yeah.
back through that is
Yeah,
Yeah.
uncomfortable
A
messages.
lot of shots taken.
Listen, uncomfortable
Yeah.
messages, man.
Right.
It's just like the reason why Instagram is so prevalent though is because your whole life is on Instagram.
Right.
Now Instagram's everyone's Facebook, so who you are is more accurate on your Instagram than any other app.
That's a good
So when
point.
people
That's a
slide in
fact,
the DMs, it's a warmer way of online dating, but it's just
Whereas if you don't want to get looked at as like, oh, you're that guy on Tinder,
right.
they just check the Instagram.
It's always weird when you're on a dating app and you see somebody that you know that you
Yeah,
didn't think was
yep,
going to be on the
yep,
dating
yep.
app.
Really.
Yeah, like the head janitor or whatever. You're like, huh? You ever have that moment
Wait,
where
are
you're
you,
just like,
are you looking up dudes or
Roseanne? Like,
Right.
I didn't know
Roseanne.
like you were on a dating app. Like you
Right.
you were washing the bathroom this morning. Like,
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
What's
you
your
don't-
age range?
You don't think about that.
Right.
I'm not on, bro. I'm not about that, man. I'm an advocate.
The
the opposite.
age range is
Nah.
just shooting high.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I was a kid when I was like using that stuff, but I think it's just funny, man, that again, you know, you don't have to go outside to order food,
No.
and you don't have to really leave your house to meet somebody. Like
Yeah, I'm
back
not
in the
gonna
day, dog, you had to join a disco social.
Uh-huh.
Right.
You had to be on the rollerblades, bro. You had to be able to do something. You had to have some sort of skill.
Right. Yeah, but I will say, just like ordering food, like besides like, you know, the normal takeout spots and deliver like pizza, Chinese, I can't even think of any other ones that were like the OGs from back in the day.
Yeah.
The fact that you can now get like Chipotle delivered is a problem.
Yeah.
You can get any restaurant. It doesn't even have
Bro,
to be
that's what I'm
something
saying.
that
Like
gets delivered. You can
becoming
get,
a homebody is like,
Yeah.
it's like lethal.
It's super
now.
easy to be lazy now. It's almost encouraged.
That's what I'm
is.
saying. It's
Yeah.
almost encouraged. And that's how like I view kind of like the dating apps a little bit. It's kind of like a lazy effort to get over that ice breaking part.
Well, something funny about, and I actually was thinking about this when we were kind of talking about coming on the podcast. That, like, so on Netflix, at least, or do you use Netflix or Hulu or whatever it
Right.
is?
Yeah.
So when I go through Netflix, like I'm scrolling and I want to find a movie, right? And it
Right.
takes me 15 minutes to find a movie because I'll see a movie and I'm like, oh, yo, that'll be pretty good to watch. But there might be something better if I keep scrolling.
Yeah.
And I find myself on dating apps and I'll be like, oh wow, like this girl's really pretty. We have some common interests,
Right.
but there might be somebody that's prettier if I just wait to message her, or there might be somebody that I have more in common with.
How
So-
shallow of you.
Well, that's what dating apps are. though.
I know.
mean, it's-
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's how it is. You got to get through
I
the
feel like
first
that's
initial thing.
actually a pretty calculated way to go about it. Everybody I know that uses Tinder, first off, they never swipe no on anybody. It's just right, and then
yeah, I don't do that.
they message everybody.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game in that sense.
It's a numbers
Yeah.
game, man. Think about it. Like,
Take 50 shots, you're gonna hit one.
I'm not
It's
gonna.
true.
If you met somebody that you're with on Tinder, like, good for you, and I'm glad that it worked out. I read an interesting quote the other day. I think it was like on WorldStar or something. It was on somewhere like really.
Could find
really
an interesting
generic.
quote on there.
It's
Or
very
we'll start,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like, but it was actually pretty eye opening. It says
Right.
people that don't know quality
Mm-hmm.
always seek quantity,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, that's the dating game right there. People who don't know quality always seek quantity.
There's this. I told him to watch this show on Netflix. It's called crazy title, but it's called Hot Girls Wanted.
Mm.
And I forget what Hot Girls Wanted. Something else
Turned
under
on.
it. Turned
Hot-
on,
turned
right?
on, yeah.
So you see a title, you're like, what type of porn's on Netflix, right? Turns out it's like how sex and the internet age mixed,
Mm.
right? So like dating apps was the first episode, and it's this guy who's on Big Brother, and he's all about quantity. Like this dude has books of just names and like stuff like that, and like he's so high in the quantity that he doesn't realize when he has quality.
Yeah.
Like he had this really pretty and really great personality girl, and I guess she took it a little too close to like dating and said like, oh, you're like 40 years old and partying on a Monday, like I can't come out, like I gotta like do something. And he's like, all right, have a nice life, like just like that. And it's
Ruthless.
like, bro, that was ruthless.
Yeah, ruthless.
Man, this is about to be a deep episode of the Andrewcast. Again, that's one of those differences between men and women, right? It's like, we don't really have a clock. You know what I'm saying? Women have a clock. And
That's
it's just,
that's true. This guy was
That's
where
where
was
a
a
lot of pressure
savage
comes
though.
from.
He was
Yeah,
a
he was a
savage.
savage. But this spins back to your point. Like you said, women have a clock.
that's what it is,
Maybe
bro.
so after they go through the fun phase, the fun guy, after you, then they
Yeah.
meet who's going to be there to be the clock manager,
It's different.
clock maintenance.
Bro.
What's the clock? I mean, do you think that a clock is
So
kind
I
of
think-
universal for women or?
So I think, I think a male's sexual, what's it called, libido, right? A
Yeah,
male's
sex drive.
libido,
What is that,
sex
sex
drive,
drive or
right?
something? Yeah.
peaks around. I read this a while ago, but I think it peaks around like late 20s, 30s, right? And a woman's doesn't peak until later, like mid to late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
This could be
That's
backwards.
true.
I forget.
That's true, actually.
So if their sex drive doesn't peak till later, and also their body being able to produce a child
Right.
is also around that time where it cuts off. It doesn't like cut off like hard stop, but like it's harder to that age.
Yeah.
That's probably why they start to get in longer or more committed relationships at around this age to prepare for by the time
that.
they hit their 30s, they're ready for a kid.
Yeah.
This is a deep
Yeah.
topic that I've thought about
Right.
often, man. So I'm gonna just
Let's dive.
Let's
I'm
run
gonna
with
just,
it, dude.
yeah, I'm gonna just put my cards out right here.
Yeah, run with it.
I think naturally, men and women as beings. I'm not even gonna talk about societal influence.
Right.
I'm just talking about beings. What a man is and what a woman is, right?
Break them down to the
Just
nature.
if you want to call it animalistic, break it
Right.
down to that. I feel like, and weigh in on this anytime. On
Mhm.
aggregate, obviously there are few and far. There's exceptions in between, but on
Right.
aggregate, mostly
Mm-hmm.
women are looking to be intimately involved with one guy
Okay.
over and over and over again.
Most, yes.
Men want to
Mhm.
be involved with as many people as they possibly can over
Right.
and over and over again.
You know
It's
what I
part
think
of
that's
nature.
why? Because of the 9-month gap. So a man doesn't have a 9-month gap where kind of you have to tend to a child growing in you,
Right.
whereas a woman does. So she can't really, she could, but she can't really do any much more sexual activity because you know you have a child. And I think I don't know this, but there probably could be complications that would happen if she had had different sexual partners.
There's more of a risk for women
Right.
to be intimate.
Right.
There's more of a risk.
Yeah.
That's another reason why there's such an inclination to be with one person. But here's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Women on aggregate, again, I have to say on aggregate so I don't sound sexist.
Right.
Most of the time, it's not only physical attraction
Yeah.
that gets them involved,
Right.
right? There has to be some sort of either mental
Lasting
game
character.
or bravado or lasting character, right?
Right.
None of us have ever
Yeah,
thought about that.
yeah.
Let's just be honest.
That's a good point.
That's an after the fact.
I think
right?
I think physical looks might be like third on the list.
Right.
That's because we have testosterone. Estrogen doesn't make you think that way. Testosterone does. You have this immediacy
Right.
when it comes to that sort of.
That's probably where that phrase of punching above your weight class comes in. When you see a woman who's like
It happens so
beautiful,
frequently. Yeah.
right,
and she's with a guy who you may not think is up to her
right.
look.
But then again, see, you're not attracted to guys.
Right.
That's why you're always going to think that way.
That's a good
That's
point.
why you're like, why is this 10
Sorry,
with like
fellas.
this 5? Like, why is this 10 with a dude that I think is a 5? Well, a dude that you think is a 5, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
to a
Yeah.
woman might be a 9.
Yeah.
Right.
Because of the way that this dude's swag is.
Right.
Because of the way
Yeah.
this guy has a way of talking. He knows how to talk to women. You know what I'm saying?
So we're talking about Soldier Boy right
What to
now.
do-
So we're talking about Soldier Boy.
I feel like Soldier Boy just looks average. I don't feel like anything special about
Don't
him.
that's
disrespect the
swag.
God. Don't
the
disrespect the
swag.
God.
He's silly, man. Who was he yelling at the other day on the phone? He was
Um,
like, I'll bust you up. There's another
it was,
rapper he was talking to.
Famous
Famous
Dex.
Dex.
Yeah.
Dude, so Shabazz OG, shout out to Shabazz OG, one of the best Instagram accounts ever. He was watching this whole argument and he reposted on his Instagram. He goes, I guess this is the new fighting right now. He's like, it's cool because no
Yeah,
one
because they
gets
took
hurt.
off their clothes and they're like throwing punches in front of the
He
phone.
said-
That is kind of ideal. I mean, that's,
Right.
you know,
He said, dog, I'm with this. He's like,
Yeah.
no one's getting hurt.
Yeah.
No one's dying. He's like, it's just two dudes
Like, Drew,
fighting
you
on
talk
the
shit.
phone.
So what's up, Drew? It's like they start throwing air punches at your phone,
That's what it was.
and I'm
He-
watching my phone. I'm oh.
Yeah, he was like, they're basically fighting like online. He's like,
shadow boxing,
as long
bro.
as no one gets hurt in real life, man. I
Right.
thought that was so silly though.
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm not about. I feel like we just flowed into another topic, but I'm not about that whole hip hop beef. Like, I don't have to have a rapper in a beef in order for me to like
To
him
like
or to
him, yeah.
consider his music legit.
Right.
And I feel like that's such an antiquated way of thinking, you know. So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, back to the men and women stuff, man. Bottom line, bro, we're different, and that's the reason why we need each other, man. It's the yin and the yang. It's the two complete opposites being forced to work together.
You have to let them know sometimes.
It's
I
it's
tell I tell
controversial.
Sheldon all the time, man. Women are just so much better than us in just pretty much every way.
Yeah.
I think, like, they're just better people. I think.
Men are just dumb as fuck.
This is okay. Again, we're diving deep.
Yeah.
You say that because
A new hole has opened. Deep dive.
you say that. The reason why you say that because women are on average more caring.
Yeah, they're just
They're more
And
respectful.
it's innate. It's in
they
their
mature
yeah,
faster,
It's in their
right?
nature,
Right.
In our society right now, that's valuable.
for sure.
But take that back 400 years.
No.
That's why it's just like people have this phrase like toxic masculinity because dudes are aggressive and stuff like that. It's like, yo, you need somebody to be quote unquote toxic masculine when somebody's running up through your country with a gun. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You need that aggression. So I've always looked at it like this, man. Two halves of the same moon, right? Women represent life.
Right.
That was actually in the Book of Eli, right? In that movie,
might have been.
doesn't he say something creepy like,
Some along those lines.
bro?
We're just like, what the hell is he talking about?
Women represent life, right? They bring life into the world, which is the most amazing superpower of all time. They have the ability to nurture this life, and they
Right.
can choose not to. You know what I'm saying? You can be a
Right.
professional woman, but you know everybody on this planet came from a woman, right?
Of course.
Man represents death, and that's
do
not
tell.
a bad thing. People look at that as like, oh, that's bad. But while the woman is nurturing this life, the woman and the baby need to eat. So that man is out there killing and bringing death in order to sustain the life. And bro, when an animal's coming for the mom
Right.
and the baby, he kills the animal. He brings the death. You
have
need
to.
death and life in order to exist on this planet. That's how I've seen it, man.
Damn.
We are the death, and that's
Okay.
not a bad thing.
I don't wanna be death.
I feel like in Wreck-It Ralph, you know, the video game room where it's
Right.
like, I am bad, and no, I'm not good, and that's not bad. Doesn't he say something crazy like that?
I haven't seen the first one in
I
a
was
while.
gonna say I did just see the second one in theaters when it came out.
I still need
You
to
need to
see it.
step your Wreck-It Ralph game up.
Bro, he watches more movies than I do.
Really?
Yeah, I watched
Movie
like I mean, just my roommates and I. We just crushed movies. Like before I came here, we were watching a movie. We were watching Lucy.
With
we just
Scarlett,
watched yeah
is that
Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson.
Jo?
Yeah.
Is that a horror movie?
No, it's like I would probably put it in like the
You
sci-fi
only
category.
use 10% of your
Yeah.
brain.
That's the lady that's
what
like
happens
just jacking
It's like
everyone's day
if
up.
Yeah.
you lock into the other 90%.
It's like Morgan Freeman just putting up this crazy like monologue, and it's basically it's like Limitless, if you remember that movie, but
Matthew
with
McConaughey.
Scarlett Johansson, who
Something
is
like that.
just gorgeous. But it's a
about that.
similar thing, but I would think more on the sci-fi than Limitless is.
Okay.
Yeah.
At
It's
the
pretty cool.
end of the movie, she just becomes like a translucent being. She's
Yeah,
everywhere.
she straight up does. Oh, well, not
Is-
to
is
spoiler
she-
alert, but
Is she a human?
she's a so the premise is she's a person. She's just like a regular woman. This drug cartel makes her transport drugs by like forcibly. They fucking put it in her stomach, or in her side rather, and then she gets caught, and then yeah, I know it's crazy, and then it starts to leak into her system, but it starts doing all these like incredible things, like she can see sounds and like see the internet and shit. And then like as her brain capacity, I know it sounds crazy, but it's so sick.
That's like how you describe it. Like
Yeah.
see the internet.
and then she
but
knows.
literally, is that a scene where like she can see like the
No, dude,
Wi-Fi
she,
signals
yeah,
like
dude,
flying
she
through
can
the
see
air?
she
Yeah.
can see like people on her phone calls, and she's just like picking out the thing that she needs.
Right.
Ew.
And
then
then as
she knows
her-
how to do
yeah.
kung fu and know how
Yeah.
to shoot a gun.
Oh, that's classic.
Like
You need to
as her
that shit,
as her capacity goes higher and higher, she can like start transforming, like shape shifting and
They're
shit.
like she's at 90% capacity.
Wait, is she
Yeah.
learning how to fight through the internet?
No, because her brain's unlocking
yeah,
its potential.
yeah. He's serious.
All right, man.
It's like
It's
it's like an RPG, bro. When you see the skill tree, just go, and you have
Yeah.
new things to
Yeah.
acquire.
I dig that.
Yeah.
There's
Alive.
definitely a trend of these, I would say, Taken-esque sort of women movies that
Right.
are arising
Yeah.
right now.
There's a new one coming out. I forget the name.
Alita Battle Angel, the one that you're
Yo.
telling me
That
about.
looks
That,
fire.
that seems to be like the epitome of this.
I
this
want to
trope.
see that. We've been
That
talking
looks
about that
fire,
for a
bro.
while, dude.
I want to see that.
fire.
And my buddy, I went to go see the Dragon Ball movie for the third time, and I was with my buddy, and we watched the Alita trailer, and I was just like, his name's Dave. He's been on the show before. I was like,
Right.
"Do you have that?" He's like, "I got it on VHS." I'm like, "Huh? Why? This
Damn.
guy's Alita on VHS? So I'm about to
Bro,
watch
that's from,
that
like,
before I see
1980,
the-
like,
Is
Yeah.
it
Three.
is it a graphic novel or an anime or something?
So start off
Yeah.
as a manga, and then there was
Graphic
from what
novel.
I understand, an anime series. But I'm also hearing that it's an OVA, like a movie that just surmises the main plot, kind of like Akira did. But Akira didn't really do that good of a job. So I have to do more research into that. But I'm definitely trying to see the source material before I go see the movie.
Right.
And I'm excited, man. It just looks like a more brutal Astro Boy.
It does look like Astro Boy now that I think about it, because you have a crazy professor who saves a
Right.
child and makes them into
Is that Christoph Waltz?
yeah.
My God.
Dude,
At
he's
first, when I
My
first saw this trailer,
God.
He's
Yeah.
merciless.
you know what I thought it
man.
was at first when I saw the trailer? I was like, is this Pinocchio? Like cyberpunk Pinocchio?
Or a female version of Pinocchio. That'd be
Right.
kind of interesting.
But then, because at first I thought the girl was a kid, like a boy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's clearly not a boy.
Right.
Because once like she was like in her like
Well,
skeleton.
I guess it's not really anything. It's a robot, right?
Right.
That's a female robot.
It's a female anime
Named
robot,
Alita.
and they're very serious about the anime because they put her eyes up to like 80%.
Yo, you know what's funny is that
funny.
what's funny is so we were talking about it before, but like I don't watch anime. I don't really like anime.
Yeah.
And we can maybe talk about that later. But my one roommate doesn't know anything about it.
Right.
And he was like, "Yo, what the fuck's up with that girl's eyes?" She's like, "Why are her eyes so big?" And we were just like looking at him, just like, it's not real, right?
Right.
He's just like, "Oh."
Yeah,
Like
she's
he straight up
CG.
thought that it was a real person.
Oh man.
Bro, she's straight. It's a weird. It's because it's doing that. What's that called? The Valley, Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley. Yeah.
It's working with that a little bit because she's clearly CG, clearly, and she's with living, breathing actors. So it causes like a little that Uncanny Valley. We're just like, dude, what am I looking at? Right
Yeah.
now? Like this is kind of weird.
I always think about that movie where, what's the movie with Kevin Hart and The Rock? Before you say like, oh, well, that's not gonna sum it down. The scene where
The Rock's in the shower.
yes,
Yeah.
he's a fat kid in high
Oh,
school.
I just watched this the other
Oh,
day.
what's
Actually.
that
Central
called?
Intelligence.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That always gets me.
Right.
I'm like, they made this like fictional kid that looks like The Rock.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
weird. He looks like a video game
But it was
character.
actually The Rock, and they just CG'd him a little bit.
Right.
It's almost like, do you watch True Detective?
No.
It's not CG, but Mahershala, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mahershala Ali. It tells a story of his life, him and others over 3 different decades.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Might be a little bit more because one's in the 80s, early 80s.
it's definitely 3 separate time periods.
Yeah,
for sure.
3 separate time periods. So one's in the 80s, the next one's in the 90s, last one's in 2015.
Okay.
And it's one guy, but they're making him look younger and older.
Yeah, it's wild.
But this one, it's clearly, I can't say clear. There's probably some CG in it, but it's a makeup,
prosthetics
and stuff like that. So it's a little jarring, especially when he's his older self, because it's like, damn, like, because I had to look him up though. I'm like, isn't he only like 40? Because he looked like such a convincing old guy, and he's playing it like amazing.
Okay.
He was like suffering from, I think, dementia.
Yeah, he's losing his memory, which I believe is dementia or something like that.
Yeah.
Dementia or Alzheimer's.
Oh yeah, no, I think it might be Alzheimer's.
Don't they both have that?
I think it's like within the same camp.
Okay.
I don't really know the difference that much, but they both suck.
I always like the old person makeup they did with those sneaker commercials where they'd have like the basketball player be this old guy.
Oh, what was it?
Dr.
Uncle Drew, or
Uncle Drew.
Or Kyrie Irving.
I always love those.
Yeah.
They're probably super fake.
they made a full-blown movie.
They made it into a movie.
Yeah, they made it into a movie.
I did
In
see
the
a trailer
theaters.
for that.
Yeah. It was in the theaters last summer or 2 summers ago.
Was it terrible?
Probably.
Yeah.
How do you make a 90-minute
who
film
saw it?
out of a 2-minute Sprite commercial?
Yeah, just like they try to do with like the Geico Caveman. They'd like try to give that its own show.
That was fun. Those are funny.
Have you seen that they're now recycling all those? Genius move by Geico.
Like the old ones?
What do you mean?
So they're replaying all of their old commercials that they're doing, like the greatest hits commercials,
Oh,
and then you're
really?
supposed to go vote for which is like the best of the greatest hits. So they're just recycling all their commercials. They don't got to make any new commercials.
pretty
it's
smart.
so smart. It's
I like
genius.
that.
That's pretty smart.
And we get to see like the Caveman and like all of the old ones that are so funny from Geico, because they usually have pretty good
I
commercials.
wonder if they're doing anything for the Super Bowl then. Like if they're going to play the #1 pick during the
The
Super
Big
Bowl.
Lebowski's doing something for the Super Bowl.
What?
You didn't see that?
Is there
they
a
are.
prequel coming?
Yes, they are.
It looks like maybe a sequel.
A sequel?
But I don't know if it's going to be a movie. See, this is weird because Jeff Bridges on his Twitter put, I forget what the title said, but it was a 15-second clip of the guy, sunglasses on, and he's
dude,
walking,
yeah.
the dude, and he's just walking, and he just turns to the camera, like confused, and then it just says,
He just like
two,
he like laughs or something.
yeah, it says 2/3/19. So I thought it was going to be a commercial, but at the bottom of the film, at the bottom of the commercial, it says like 2019 copyright Universal Films or whatever studio makes it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it says like LLC reserved. So I was like, and then people are like, dude, there's no way in 2019 people are just doing surprise movies. It will never work.
I don't know, dude. Something like the Big Lebowski, or I guess
Right.
the Big Lebowski sequel, prequel, whatever it might be. That would play for a movie like that.
Didn't that
Which
happen
I-
a few times though? Wasn't there like a reveal that was just during the Super Bowl? Like, didn't they do that for Cloverfield, the Netflix movie? Didn't they just shot?
Yeah,
that out?
they did. They
did,
dropped
yeah.
it that night. But that's like different because
It's Netflix.
it's Netflix. And we actually broke this down a couple weeks ago
Oh yeah, we had a big.
about how Netflix like makes their money. Obviously it's from the subscriptions, but how do they pay? Like, let's say if you went to Netflix and you said I have a 10 episode season, how much can I get for it? So I was like, well, they probably pay them based like how many views it gets, right?
Right.
And I forget what you argued against.
I think it was something along the lines of that it doesn't, whether it gets one view or a million views, it doesn't make Netflix any more money because
Right.
it's a monthly subscription. So
Right.
that's where the confusion was, or that's where we just didn't really know where that came from.
So what they do is, which kind of is a little bit beat, but they just say, here's a flat out check. You're gonna check one time.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll give you $2 million for the show, right? So you think $2 million for a show, okay? If that show was on TV, right? It's probably gonna average 250,000 to 750,000
Yeah.
viewers per episode, right? At the end of the season, that probably equates to around $2 million. But then it gets on Netflix, and now you're at like the show You, when
Yeah.
its Lifetime averaged 1 million views on Lifetime.
Wait, that was on Lifetime before Netflix?
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
Wow.
for its whole
And
yeah. run, it earned like 1 million viewers.
Like low, like terrible numbers.
Yeah.
Goes to Netflix, in 30 days it had 44 million viewers.
Okay, so why is that blowing up? Because to me that looks like
It's hearsay,
no,
bro.
it's. I'm gonna tell you exactly right now because we were just talking about it. It's the social media, internet, dating, all converging. That's what the show is essentially about. I mean, there's
you're
more
right,
to it.
because
But
that's why 13 Reasons Why was popular.
Yeah.
But
That show
I'm
was
gonna say it
popping.
right now, man. This is like a chick flick series, bro.
What, you?
Yeah, you
Nah,
and,
nah,
and
yeah,
13
you-
Reasons
you- I'm
Why,
telling
man.
you, you
I-
think-
But some of the best shows are chick flick
Nah, man,
ones.
you think it is?
Bro,
I'm telling you,
can't.
it's
Look,
twisted. It's
bro,
twisted.
I had a roommate in college who was just like, I don't know, man. He was my good friend Dwight. He has a podcast too called Sunday Shenanigans, and like, he was just a typical dude, but he watched Pretty Little Liars, and I never got over that. I was like, bro, how can I can't watch this? He's like, bro, this show is lit.
Right.
He's like, he would watch it like so hype.
Right.
I can't get into chick flick shows. I don't know what it is, man. It's not.
U's a little different though. Like it does have the aesthetic on it, like where you're like you can tell you're watching like a show catered to women. Like it has that certain essence to the camera work in it. But it is like a heavy show.
It's about a stalker, obviously, right?
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
Yes,
so it's deeper
yeah.
than that, of course.
Yeah, so it's deeper than that, obviously. But I think
Yeah.
that's what makes it not so much of a chick flick is because it's so
Menacing.
exactly menacing is a perfect way to put it.
That's another big market too. We seem to like the I call them the mental health movies right now are like the really big sellers. What's this one coming out, Sheldon? You got to help me out. The guy who wrote Get Out. There's a new film.
Oh, Us?
Yes. What is that about?
It's just about this family, black family, 2 kids, wife, husband. They we still don't really know much from the trailer.
Oh, I
but-
thought like the synopsis might have leaked or something.
Nah, so
People
from
got
what-
tons of theories already. Though.
yeah. So what's happening is that they're on vacation.
It's like
we're just gonna
doubles.
assume,
Yeah, but yeah.
and they're getting harassed by themselves,
Yeah.
and looks like it's pretty gruesome.
Yeah, it looks pretty crazy.
It looks nuts.
It looks pretty
and
crazy.
I'm all in.
Yeah, I mean, if Jordan Peele is gonna have a twist, everyone's gonna be on it.
Here's my thing. Why is that blowing up? Because I look at this and I'm like, I've seen movie trailers like this before. Why is
Because-
this so hot right now?
Well, because one, it is an all-black cast, which in horror movies is very unlikely.
Okay.
2, the success of Get Out was universal.
Mm-hmm.
So he established a name for himself after one film where he's
Right.
a top tier director. And just 3, like his writing style is different from horror movies. Like Get Out was like, it's horror in the fact that like it's relatable and you don't realize how much like some of the things that these people say can really creep you out.
Yeah.
And like how it could be like, it may seem friendly, but it actually has like a dark undertone to it. For dramatic reasons, obviously, because Get Out was very dramatic in its reveal. So I just think that like his style of writing and direction is very fresh.
Right.
Whereas you see a Halloween movie, you know what's gonna happen. Yeah. You know how it's gonna end.
I mean, that's a slasher. This is like a psychological thriller. I would
like
say. More so.
think of Silence of the Lambs. Like
Right.
you're on your edge the whole time. You're like, I don't know where this is going. What's it called? The Shining. Couldn't tell you where that movie was going.
People say that's an allegory for like visiting the moon. Like when the U.S. visited. Yeah, there's 1,000 theories on that movie. I know what you're saying though.
Right.
When you watch it, you're like, this is unique.
Right.
And it's playing against my expectations of what a horror movie is supposed to
Right.
be. My
Exactly.
question is,
Mhm.
he is like a writer that's known for comedy
Right.
primarily,
Right.
right? And it's just like he made one horror movie that was good. Do you think that he's gonna be like a horror writer now? Like, is he just gonna go full Stephen King?
Well, he said
Because
that
it's people are reacting like Stephen King
Yeah.
is
Right.
writing this, like like
Well-
somebody has a horror body of work.
we're
And
gonna
he really
dive.
just has
We're gonna
one
dive.
movie.
I have a theory for Stephen King. We're gonna dive in that in a second. But Jordan Peele said that his favorite movies growing up were horror movies. He loved monster movies and stuff like that. So he couldn't write horror stuff at that time when he was doing comedy because no one would take it serious.
Yeah.
So once he left Key and Peele, and then even when the Get Out trailer first came out, people were like, "Oh, this is hysterical!
Yeah.
Right.
Like this is funny." Like Jordan Peele doing a movie, and it's
Ho-
like about a black guy dating a white woman, and her family are abducting black people. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Horror is harder to sell on paper.
It is.
Because it's hard to be like, isn't this idea that I wrote scary? It's like,
Right.
no. I have to
Right.
see it and be in it to realize that's scary. 'Cause
Unless
I can
you're-
sell you a joke just
Right.
by
Yeah.
having
Exactly.
you read it.
Yeah.
Just
you
reading
know?
it, and then you can sense it.
Yeah.
But even like John Krasinski
John Krasinski when he
did what's it called? A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Think about that picture. He's like a pregnant woman, post-apocalyptic. The enemies
Right.
they hear like bats.
Mm-hmm.
They can hear everything.
Yeah.
She's about to give birth.
Right. And he's known for obviously one of the biggest
Right.
comedy series of all
Yeah.
time.
Exactly.
But he was also in like Zero Dark 30 and a few other movies.
He was.
Before he hit that that big serious role.
But I think
And of
that's
course
like,
you
if you
create
think
that
about
movie
it,
as
so
well.
like comedy deals with the essence of comedy is tragedy and laughter.
Right.
So tragedy is one of the biggest things in comedy. You laugh at people's expense, at their pain, stuff like that. I feel like it's easier to nail a horror movie because you know how to make people laugh. Now you also know how to make them cry.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And make 'em
devastating
comfortable.
moments in The Office, man. There's just some
Right.
soul-crushing moments in The Office.
Same thing with
Sad.
what the hell was that show
Well, I think
called?
that's what makes it funnier is that when you have a low moment like that,
Yeah.
then it can only get better.
It feels more rewarding too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
And so Stephen King, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of his films are getting remade or being put out. So we had The Dark Tower.
I heard that flopped.
It did
Yo, I
because
fucked
it
with
was.
The Dark Tower.
I
though.
love that movie.
Yeah, I fucked with it.
I heard the
I never read the
graphic
book.
novel's really good.
Bro, you got to read it. I
Yeah.
gave him one of the books.
Yeah,
to
I read the book. It was really good. I flew through it. I don't
So
really read like
The
that.
Dark Tower is like The Dark Tower literally combines all of Stephen King's literatures. All his books are in the same universe because they reference it in The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
They talk about an interstellar being that
comes
can
down,
represent
shapeshift.
your fears and
Yeah.
shapeshifts, and he typically turns into a clown.
Yeah.
That's it, clear as day.
Part 2 is coming out 2019, right?
Yeah, sometime this year.
All right, I don't want to sidetrack you. Good
Right.
thing.
So
Yeah, I was just
so
curious.
Pet Cemetery's coming out. Have you seen the new trailer?
People said that movie, the original one, is scary.
It was terrifying for
yeah,
its time.
Yeah, especially as a child.
Yeah.
Dude.
Think about it. Your cat dies or your animal dies when you're a child. That's one of the most traumatic experiences you'll have.
Yeah.
Your best friend passes.
The one thing that you want back is you want
your animal back.
your homie
Yeah.
back.
So you bury him. Next you know, you're getting harassed by your dead animal. But it's deeper than that. If there's also dead animals under here, what else is under here?
Yeah. I'm
We
not
got,
familiar
we
with
got
the plot.
bodies.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the
We
plot.
got bodies. And then you're going crazy. So it's kind of like The Shining meets
Well, yeah. So I think I don't know. I've seen the trailer. I don't know. I know the original one is that. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Shel, but the child dies, and they know that there's this place that can bring the animals back. So they're like, all right, well, we want our child back. So they do the child,
Right.
and then from there is the rest of the story. But
That's wild.
yeah,
It's nuts. And I think they're twisting it a little bit in this new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trailer's menacing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trailer's
It's
menacing.
menacing.
Crazy.
It combines like something that is always, I think, terrifying in
Kids.
horror movies. It's children. I mean,
You know,
children doing
Wearing
anything.
dirty
is-
animal
yeah.
mask, walking in a straight line with a dum, dum.
Yeah.
Doom.
That's such a mundane act, but when you put it in the context of a horror movie,
Right.
it's terrifying.
I think it's because our expectation is never for children or women to be of any harm to us. That's usually like what it is.
It's a good call.
That's why
actually.
like it's little girls that are always usually the scariest thing because in reality, like,
Because that you
A
think
little girl is
innocent,
not
the
pure.
most non-threatening, innocent, pure thing that you could possibly come across. Whereas like you see a dude with a knife, you're like, of course, like
Right.
Yeah.
of course this giant
Right.
dude with a knife would try and kill
Right.
me. My expectation is that. So
Right.
you're still afraid, but you're less afraid.
There's
You know
this
what I'm
other movie coming
good
out
call.
called The Prodigy, where this kid apparently has like the brain development of like a genius. So it's
Yeah.
just like, he's 5, but his brain's like, you're now 10, you're now 15.
saying? Where do
you're
people come
20.
up with this stuff?
Bro, I love it, man. That's like, because I'm tired of like these, ghost stories
Yeah.
that don't turn out to be good. The Haunting of Hill House, trash.
I think something like The Prodigy or something like some of these movies. I think what makes it scarier is the real, like you said, the Get Out or the Us. Like
Right.
the realism behind it is that something like this could happen, and something like The
Right.
Prodigy, which I guess you're about to go into,
Right.
could happen. And I think that's what makes it a little bit.
Or
scary.
even that other movie, I forget what it's called, but it's like, what if Superman, turned out to be bad when he landed here? Did you see that trailer?
What was
No.
that called?
I don't remember the name of it. So this trailer came out
What?
where this kid crash lands on the planet, right?
Yeah.
Farmer and his wife find him, want to take care of him.
Yeah.
This kid has extraordinary beings, powers, loves running around in a red cape. They're not calling it a Superman film, but you get it.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Superman.
Is this
Yeah.
DC?
No,
Nah.
it's like an original tale, right? So this kid just turns out to be, he has some sinister thoughts.
It's got some bloodlust.
So, he can fly, shoots laser at his eyes. He's killing people though, like
That's-
brutally. The
that's
trailer
crazy.
was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is gnarly."
They should do a Dragon Ball one, dude. That'd be sick.
I already tried doing a Dragon Ball film. We know how that turned out.
No, I'm saying, but they should do a Dragon Ball story where Goku comes to Earth and just he never
starts
gets, he
bodying
never gets hit on the
motherfuckers.
head. He never gets hit on the head, and he just wrecks everybody. And then Vegeta and and Raditz come down to try and like be like, all right, you did a good job. Like, it's time to sell this planet. He beats them up. Like, dude, that'd be crazy. But yeah, that sounds interesting. That it's supposed to be like a Superman, an evil Superman story.
That's probably one of the freshest takes I've heard in a while.
That is a fresh take, but I'm feeling lawsuit here. I'm feeling it's gonna be a little controversial with the comic book publishers here that they would take an IP, and that's like making an evil Mickey Mouse movie. Like, do you think that Disney would just like sit by and be like, oh,
Disney? Of course not.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying
Disney's with their P's and Q's.
I think DC is not as powerful, but I think they have as much of a pull in the cinema universe.
Also, the fan base will start up the lawsuit.
Well, yeah, I think wearing that red cape is probably the thing that's gonna kill him.
It's pretty on the nose. Like, I gotta watch the trailer to see how it is.
But if it does well,
like
then
DC's
DC's probably like, this actually,
I don't know. Maybe that Shazam looks like it's gonna be really cool, man.
That's the guy from
Chuck.
Yeah,
Zach Levi. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Chuck. Isn't Chuck the one where the people get murdered? He kills people for fun.
No,
people do get murdered. I mean, they do get murdered, but
I haven't seen that show in so long.
So I've actually started kind of
rewatching,
dabbling into. But basically, it's this normal dude, like Putz, works at a Best Buy, basically.
Like Geek Squad.
Yeah, exactly, Geek Squad. And one of his friend from high school is a CIA agent, like this super intelligent guy. Gets everything downloaded into this like USB.
Let me guess. He puts it in his head.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Because he opens it.
He opens it, and it flashes everything, and then he becomes like this super spy that has the information of like everything, and then so the CIA or whatever body intelligence body has to use him, and then he's a super spy. So
new rule, man. The only movie that's allowed to do that is The Matrix, hands down. I'm hearing too many. We've already went over 2 premises today. That's that where somebody just gets up to speed with like some microchip or something like that.
Yeah,
that's not. Come on, man.
Yeah, but The Matrix was good until it was good, and then it just got.
It was good
bad.
For its time. Like let's look.
1999.
Wait, are you suggesting that The Matrix is like overrated or something?
Matrix Revolution, terrible movie.
Oh, okay, all right, that's fair.
Terrible conclusion.
That's the third one.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
CGI fest. That movie was pretty bad.
Yeah, but I liked it.
I liked it too, but like when you look back on it, you're like, this plot is so muddy. It just doesn't make sense.
No, it's true.
Like it was trying to outdo itself.
Right.
And it's like you already had a good plot with the first one. The second one was also good, but then the third one, I don't know what the term I'm looking for, but like your head's just so far up your ass that like
it goes off the rails,
right? And you're just like, what is going on,
dude? At the end where they meet the freaking face, like the Zordon
looking
guy.
I'm like, what is this?
Whoa! When I saw that though, I was like, oh, okay, this movie just got
serious.
He's
like, are you ready to pass?
Yeah.
And he's blind. He's like, yes. And he's like, duh. And then I'm like, what's going on?
They take him. They literally take him.
Yeah, like
remember
as if he's like the child of Zion. They're just like walking his body down.
Bro,
like,
that ending always haunted me because everything was cool. Everything went back to the way it was, but like we never find out what happens to Neo. And then they were toying with the idea. Remember where there was like rumors a sequel, The Matrix was going to come out, and Will Smith was going to be one of the main characters. I was like, whoa! I was so happy.
That would have been
That series is dead. No more, bro. We're stuck with that ending.
You can believe that that's going to get brought back. You already know it is.
The Matrix?
For sure.
See, I don't know
the way they're bringing back movies. Are you kidding me? They're not going to redo The Matrix.
So the brothers who made The Matrix, the Wachowski brothers.
They're geniuses. It's crazy.
Well, they also made Sense8, but they're no longer called the Wachowski brothers. They're now called the Wachowski sisters.
Did you
hear about
trans?
Yeah, both of them.
What?
They're trans women. Were transitioned into women.
Dude, I need to read about this.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. So,
I mean, do you think that's going to?
Wait, are you joking or no?
No, I'm dead serious.
I need to read about
the Wachowski brothers are now the Wachowski sisters.
This is nuts.
And that's when they came up with the plot for Sense8. Like
because of the that makes sense.
Yeah, because that show is super inclusive. It's a really good show.
Yeah, really good show.
It's like kind of has like a little bit of a Matrix plotline to it, like just little glimpses of it.
Yeah,
but it's a really good show. It's about 8 different people, all born on the same day throughout Earth, and they're all connected. So like if I'm sitting here doing something, I look to my right, I can see the other person doing something somewhere else, and I can call on for help if I'm in a situation. I'll be like, oh, someone help me, and then they kind of like not possess your body, but they like turn into you, and they can like. Bro, it's a nutty show. It was good.
Again, man, where do people come up with this?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I have this
But it was nuts to me that I was like, so two brothers,
Right.
both transitioned.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
That's
pretty
like that's highly that's not common, I guess.
I would
Or-
say not.
fun. Yeah.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like, that's nuts. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I was like, whoa, didn't see that coming.
Well, especially how prominent they are. I mean, this is weird. I gotta look this up.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. I have this
I think full blown too. I think they're like not just like dressing up or in drag.
no,
They're like
I
full
mean,
blown like
chopped off the their units.
yeah.
what?
They chopped off the units.
Wait,
as
they
he said.
did?
I think so. I think they're
Okay,
fully.
man.
I think they're full women.
Let me read into this more before we talk about this, bro. This is getting out of hand. I have this fear though. Whenever I'm at a live performance, or I'm in an arena of some sort of show or something, I always think to myself, like as an audience member looking at the show, what if I swap bodies with the performer right when they're about to perform?
Yeah.
And like they swap bodies with me. I don't know why I always think about that. Like, would I be prepared to do what they're about to do? Like, I went to go see Wu-Tang Clan Thursday night, and it was such an important show. Like, it was the first time they were touring in forever.
Go ahead and read that aloud, and then dive back into your thing.
Sure. Formerly known as Larry, now Lana. Lily, formerly known as Andrew, Paul, Andy. Writers, producers, their sisters are both trans women collectively known as... What in the world is going on? What?
Collectively known as the Wachowski brothers are now known as the Wachowski sisters.
Huh?
Yeah, bro.
That's
Dude, this
crazy.
is
Yeah, bro.
nuts. Hold on. Wait a second. They're married?
Not to each other.
I know, but they're married to women? Were these women with them before
Yeah,
they
when they were when they were men. Strong women.
So what is the?
Yo,
Strong women right there.
this is a strange world.
Yeah,
man.
that
That is wild.
That's nuts, right?
That's a very Hollywood thing to do, though.
That is. I feel like it's very progressive, or what's the word I'm looking for?
progressive is probably the right
Is
word.
that
for
the right word
yeah.
for that? At first, I thought it was like a stunt when I read it.
I don't know. What kind of... I can't speak on it, bro. I don't know enough, but...
Yeah, I don't know much about that world
Yeah.
either.
I'm gonna let that lie, but that's interesting that the women that they were with were just kind of cool with this.
Yeah, it might have been the same women, or they might have had a different wife.
They don't want to lose the bag.
Yo,
I mean,
that's the
I
truth.
mean,
that Matrix money is gonna
Yeah.
come in, man.
Oh, are they still getting them royalty
Somehow.
checks?
No doubt.
Dog,
That movie's still playing.
Animatrix, bro. That joint was tough.
You ever seen that? The Animatrix?
Oh,
no,
of
I
course
did not.
He did. He's not into anime, but
Yeah.
there's a
However, he says that, right?
Mhm.
But if you peep his Facebook from about 8 years ago, he said, I'm going to hit this dude with the double Sunday
Yeah.
Kamehameha.
double
He-
Sunday.
But
He's
doesn't-
got this like conspiracy theory that
doesn't watch anime.
yeah.
But
I
he
don't-
knows about a double Sunday. Raditz. Kamehameha
That's
goes.
That's that
no.
Toonami
I played
knowledge.
the
Mm.
game. I played the game. That's
Yeah,
why.
dude.
Which game? What game is it called?
Dragon Ball
Dragon
the game.
Ball Z. I don't know. It's a fucking Dragon Ball game.
That's how you know he doesn't play anime.
What if he just said Tenkaichi? I'd be like,
I'd be like,
hmm.
But no, he's just like, he said Dragon Ball the game. All right, I got
See,
you.
but his so he's like, he said he's open to it, but his homie tried. He's like,
For
yo,
sure.
you got to watch One Punch Man. I'm like, man, you can't tell someone to watch
No,
One Punch
no.
Man.
Listen.
as
So
the
I
first one.
will say I know you guys talked about this before on one of the shows that I watched about Neo Yokio,
Yeah, that was with Ben.
which is not. I like Neo Yokio, but I also really like Jesus and Mero.
Same as Ben.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Two guys, the Bodega Boys.
Oh,
But yeah, so like I really like that. I think they're just hilarious. And then when they're promoting that, I'm like, oh, I'll give it. And I like Jane Smith too. I like his music. But
He's not a
besides
fan.
that, oh, you're not a fan of Jane Smith?
I like his music. I think that he's a bit strange.
Oh,
I think it's fair to
actually,
say.
I agree with
He
that
is.
100%.
He is.
I
Mhm.
really like his music, and I actually didn't give his music a chance for the longest time
Mhm.
because of that.
Sounds
Because
like
I don't.
Yeah.
I just think he's like just a wild dude.
I think he's weird, but also like when I listen to him, I think he's like weird for the sake of being weird. Like
I
he's,
agree,
He's just,
yeah.
he's just trying to be different.
You think it's a
And
front or something?
Maybe I'm saying that because he's so young. Like again, I don't know him. This is just like what
Yeah,
I
isn't
see
he
through
like
the
18
media.
or something?
Might be 19
Yeah,
now.
but like whenever I hear an interview with him, like I feel like he's trying really hard to be profound, and I'm like
be woke or something.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes he seems like he's trying a little too hard.
Meanwhile, his dad is like one of the most profound people ever, who's like literally inspired me to do what I do for a living, and he doesn't. There's no put on with him. Like he just is very, very factual about things. So I don't know. It's probably because he's young. I'm probably being too hard on him, but I just find him weird.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't really like his whole style, but I dig his music.
Yeah, I fuck with his music a lot.
He reps Japan hard AF.
Yeah. So I mean, I rock with that.
Yeah.
But
as you were saying,
New Yokio is cool.
Oh, right. Yeah, so one of my old roommates is a big time anime guy. He likes all of the like Naruto and that kind of stuff.
Naruto.
And he was trying to get me and my other roommate that don't watch anime. He was like, "All right, listen, I got this show for you. Like, I think you're gonna like it." And it was the bald-headed dude, One Punch Man.
Okay.
And
that's a gateway anime for a lot of people.
you think
that-
so?
Bill
shit-
Burr loves that show.
that
Bill
shit was
Burr.
so trash and so weird, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's so out there.
It was so insane, and I was like, at first I was just like, I didn't know what the hell I was watching.
Right.
Here's the thing about anime, and Sheldon disagrees with me on this. I think if you're gonna be a fan of anime, story comes second. I'm somebody who draws. I'm very much into cartoons, animation, so I'm
okay.
very much about visuals. So I love visual entertainment. You have to be a fan of that first if you're gonna watch anime.
That's a fair
You seem
point.
like a plot guy, like a story
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
It's not gonna go over well with you when there's awkward dialogue that hasn't been localized
Yes,
well.
Right. yeah.
That's the big thing that gets
100%.
people away from anime because they're like, I'm watching a cartoon. This is for kids. But once you get like really, really deep in it, and you're like, wow, this is a piece of art. Like there were 60 people that spent 3 months making this 26-minute episode that I watched, and every single frame of it was drawn, and all of
Yeah.
it was voice acted, and you're just like, it's amazing. So as somebody who's like a fan of production, I'm obsessed with
Yeah,
anime. Like,
yeah.
huge obsessed with anime. And when I watch Cowboy Bebop, it's not an award-winning story most of the time. It's just a really epic show.
I think I recommended. That's like
You
one
did-
of the
you
ones
did tell me to watch
say,
that.
Yeah, that's like
You're into
'cause
like
it's different.
crime and dramas and stuff. It
Yeah.
sounds like
He
So-
likes, he
This
likes
is-
Rick
this
and
is
Morty
all
though.
about crime
Yeah.
and drama.
He likes
Yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Well, that's an American cartoon, and I think that one
Oh,
is the interactions and talking is way more digestible.
I don't want to make it seem like it's not that I don't like anything animated, and
Yeah.
we've had the whole thing. Like I love animated movies.
Mhm,
Rick and
right.
Morty, I think, is hilarious.
Yeah.
and I can definitely appreciate the art behind it, like you were saying.
Mhm.
Right.
But when it comes down to something that I want to watch, I don't.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I'm.
Yeah,
but
he,
see,
he had
I'm-
he had a funny quote a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was about like might have been a couple months ago. Just something about anime. It was really funny. Oh, so Josh had
Oh, dude, yeah.
all right. So I would say yours and my preference similar.
Yeah.
I go a little bit further. I can get on a little bit on the wilder side.
What, are we talking about anime?
We
Yeah,
are.
well,
no,
yeah,
we're
but I didn't
we
know
are.
if it was talking about
We
anime,
still
bro.
are. We still are.
I didn't know
We
what you were
still
talking about for a
swear.
second.
No, I'm saying I
Swear.
said I can watch a little more of the outlandish ones.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
some.
Yeah.
So he was on this app trying to watch this show, and this girl pops up in like a bunny suit.
Some anime.
And
bunny
like you know
suit.
how in Japan like bunny girls are a thing?
Yeah, maids are big, man.
Right. So it was like that. So he texted me or called and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" He's like, "What porn is it? Like anime porn?"
I
is
thought
this?"
I thought his boy Josh was watching anime porn, like because we share an app, or we share the app, so
Yeah.
the home screen, so I can see like it'll be like continue watching for season 2 or whatever,
Right.
Mhm.
and this shit
But-
pops
but
up,
you,
and it's
you know how a lot of anime, the covers, they try to reel you in, get a little spicy sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I have a lot to say about that. So here in the States, if you watch a cartoon and you see a girl in a bikini, it's intentional. If it's like a really hot girl to like be like, wow, this character's hot and attractive. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's just a meaningful thing. In Japan, that bikini translates to the bunny suit. That bikini translates to somebody who's dressed up as a maid. They
Right.
find that hot culturally.
Right.
So like that's what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you don't freak out if you watch Total Drama Island or whatever and you see like some girl in the bikini.
Right.
Because it's just like whatever.
Right.
That's like this person's supposed to be hot in the eye.
I think
of the
that
viewer.
there's
we
such
find
a-
it strange because it's a cultural difference.
Wow.
I don't find it hot at all. When I went to Japan, there was maid cafes,
Right.
and I had an opportunity to
Yeah.
go to one, and I was like, why? Like
Right.
that's not gonna be fun for me. It's gonna be weird.
I
But-
think also the difference is that people, I think here, think that like, oh, some dude who's like 30 to 40 just drew this girl in this manner, and they think that's like weird instead of seeing it like it's kind of like attention seeker to bring you to the art.
Yeah. Well, when you're watching an action adventure series, 90% of the people that are watching that are going to be male. So they have a lot of male things in there. Now, if you're watching an anime series that is about super magical girls, there's a ton of super magical girl animes.
Right.
Sailor Moon is one of them. There's another one that's just a Netflix original. That's pretty crazy. Right. That's not going to have any of that stuff in there. So anime is like anything else. It has its demographic. I just think here in the West, when we see animated boobs or an animated butt, we're like, whoa, what is this? What is this? Yeah, is this perv?
No,
is this perv material?
Yeah, that was my exact. I can't lie. That was my
exactly.
exact reaction.
But the thing is,
Get the water.
The thing is, if you're watching The Sopranos and there's a nude scene, you don't say, what is this, pervert material? That's how it is in Japan. Adults watch cartoons like you and I would watch Sopranos. Yeah. So when we see it here, because we're used to cartoons being a children's medium, we're like, everyone gets all freaked out and like weirded out. And it's just like
everyone's just losing their minds.
In Japan, that's a Thursday evening with the missus. Like there's something crazy just came on and it's a cartoon.
Funny. That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why there's this big stigma here. It's a cultural thing. I was playing Kingdom Hearts today. I'm not going to give away too much. And obviously Kingdom Hearts is a game with Western characters, Mickey Mouse, all these Disney characters. But it's developed by Japanese. Right. There's a scene in the first hour of the game where Yensid is handing something off to Mickey Mouse and the rest of the cast of this game. And they all take the item that they receive, they put it in two hands, and they bow like this. Yeah. That's a very Japanese thing, okay? Like, no matter how many times you split it. Right. But people who are playing this game are going to be really accustomed to these Western characters and not even going to realize how Japanese that was. There are certain cultural things that are so strong in anime that it wards people off. If you look at it through a different perspective, you may like it. And I'm not saying it's for everybody. Right. One Punch Man is a hard one to digest.
Yeah.
Because
I would say that's not the first one I would have gave.
Yeah, that's not the first one I would have gave either. I would have gave one with a more Western relatable plot and still animated.
I mean, if you got something for me, I'm open to it. Like
Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll or
Ninja
Cowboy
Scroll.
Bebop. Those are going to be your two to start off with.
All right, fair enough.
Ninja Scroll is a movie, and it's just like a kung fu movie, but it gets a little crazy. Yeah. And then Cowboy Bebop is critically acclaimed to be one of the best animated shows of all time. It's 26 episodes.
You hear Logic reference that countless times.
Yeah.
It's masterfully made, and it's my favorite animated TV show ever. So I'd recommend that. Yeah, but anime is not for everybody, man. You can walk away and be like, I'll never watch anime again, and I get it. It's still a niche thing.
It's like, it's weird though. It is, I think we talked about this before, but it is very popular now. It's everywhere.
It's trendy, man. But
it is. I think that's saying
trendy.
that's trendy. It's going into the mainstream because of that. It's like cool to like anime.
It's trendy.
Well, I don't know if you knew, but the Dragon Ball movie that just came out, right?
Talk for a second. I gotta make sure the door is open for my cat.
Got it. So the Dragon Ball movie that just came out, right?
Yeah.
I
didn't even know one came out, to be honest.
Right. I didn't think a lot of people knew it came out. I thought it was going to be very niche audience. So it sold, correct me if I'm wrong, but its first week for animated movie straight from Japan, 44 million USD.
Damn.
Yeah.
Unheard of, never happened before.
Yeah,
it's a lot. That goes to show what I was saying. Like, it's now, like you said, it's trendy.
No, I mean, I know it's definitely
because they usually do like 4 million.
I mean, just look at somebody like, and I could be completely wrong here, just because I don't know anything, but like somebody like Young Thug,
right,
is like heavily influenced by, just looking at the way he dresses, but like by Eastern culture.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Jaden Smith too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's more.
XX
He's very.
Tayshion. The list goes on, man.
A lot of the mainstream rappers are very influenced by, I would say, anime characters. All these Lils, even with the face tats, the colored dreads. Lil Uzi, he's one of the biggest ones. Who is, what's it called, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
Scott Pilgrim. There was also another one I can't remember off the top of my head, but he was very, the way he raps, the beats that you would hear, or stuff that you hear in a video game, or
Scott Pilgrim was actually a graphic novel.
Canadian though.
Yeah, that was inspired by anime, but made by a Canadian. Yeah, it's
Avatar:
catching
The
on,
Last
man.
Airbender. Not a lot of people realize.
Yeah, so I know. I remember when we talked about it because I did watch that as a
Avatar.
Yeah,
it's good.
That is one that I watched when I was a kid growing up, but it was because it was
Nickelodeon.
It was on Nickelodeon,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, it's a cartoon to me.
Yeah,
and I guess obviously anime and cartoons are not the same, but they're along the same line.
The definition of an anime is
animation.
an animation that was made in Japan. That's
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
it. So Avatar isn't really an anime, but it's anime inspired. I feel like the people that really cut like what is this are the same people that are just nerds that complain about stuff that doesn't matter. Like I was in the movie theater watching the Dragon Ball movie, and every time the CG scene would come on, this dude next to me would literally go, "Ugh, CG, ugh," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?" Like,
I also
bro, relax.
I think people like that too can also turn off a casual viewer, somebody like me, that if you talk to them about an anime and then, like they just go like real deep into it, it's like,
Dude,
yo, it's not that serious.
The
I mean,
gatekeeping is real,
yeah.
bro. There's a lot of
So
gatekeeping
weird.
in anime.
A lot of gatekeeping.
Where it's just like, bro, like you don't know, like you're not a real fan, and it's just like, it's a cartoon, man. Hey,
Right.
Yeah, see, I think
like,
that
back off.
yeah.
hey, it's a
Back
cartoon,
off.
bro. You know. So that, yeah, there's a lot of weird, and I've been to a bunch of conventions. I had like a really weird gatekeeper come up to like me and my friend,
Right.
and he was like asking us like questions about all these anime series, like straight up, like we were like the creators of them or something.
Right,
We were
right.
just like, yo, bro, like we're
Was
just
he
here
like
to-
trying to confirm that you guys know your stuff, or what was that about?
Probably, but like we weren't engaging in
So
conversation.
what do you
with him.
watch? Oh, you watch that mainstream?
Dude, stuff like that.
Right.
And we were just, we literally had to say like, hey, dude, like, could you leave us alone? Like, it actually got to that.
Holy
Like, me
shit.
and my friends were just like, we're just trying
Right.
to chill and have a good time at
Right.
this anime convention. Like,
Yeah.
why are you bugging? You
Right.
know? So you got to look out for people like that.
Yeah.
I remember when I first went to Temple, I was trying to get involved with an activity. So I went with people that I just met in my residence to the bell tower, which is like the center of Temple. And I was going around just looking for, you know, they have the different student orgs out
Right.
at the beginning of the year, just something to get involved with. And I, the anime club guy, because I was wearing a One Piece shirt at the time,
Yeah.
he's like, "Nice shirt, man." I was like, "Hey, thanks." Kept walking. Right? Kept walking. I was
Kept it
looking at some
moving.
other stuff. I feel this breathing. Listen,
Ew.
I'm like, what?
A little
Is
nasal.
that me? Yeah, I got allergies? I'm looking around. Right, I turn around, this guy's following me. He's like, "So you gonna join?" I was like, "No, bro, get away from me."
So
What
you
the
gonna
heck?
join like it's a fucking cult or
Yeah,
something?
he thought just because I had a One Piece shirt on, I was
Yeah.
gonna join his booty club. No way, bro. I said, "Stop." I said, "Why are you following me, man?"
Right.
So you got to look out for that. I think the anime fandom is full of that, but like Sheldon said, it's getting cooler. It's getting cool
Definitely.
to, you know what I'm saying? At a time, it wasn't cool to play video games. Video games are for nerds. It's like, oh, why are you gaming? Now everybody games, you know?
All we needed
Yeah.
was the cosign from the Sixth God.
Yeah, same thing with EDM, bro. Like, if you listen to techno, you were like some kind of drug addict. But now if you go to
Right.
EDM festival,
Well,
you might be a drug addict. But
yeah, I
Right.
you
I
having
mean,
fun.
I do think it's fair too that when you see those people with the fucking gas masks and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff,
right.
I know that that's
Yeah.
like early 2000s
Right.
techno or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
not like that anymore. But that might turn some people away from going to a concert. Or
That's a
something.
whole culture right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I never really got too deep in it, but
The
like,
techno culture.
yeah, when Soundgarden was around in Philly, for those of you who don't know, Soundgarden was like this club that 18-year-olds would go to, man.
Yeah, we were allowed to get in.
Bro. And it was just all techno music. And in my younger days, I would
Place
go
was
there.
live.
It was
it
live.
18.
Was it just like a dance club or something?
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
It was literally a
Serving
raver for
sodas and stuff.
18-year-olds.
Yeah.
And is it still around?
They took that out. But when it was,
Right.
bro, that was like the height of that, man. Where
Yeah.
people were coming with
It
fur.
was right by the Electric Factory.
Yeah, yeah. And they
Mhm.
had
and
the
Fillmore.
bro,
yeah.
they would have the video game sprites made out of beads, and then people would have those gloves with like the lights on it, and they would like do that in your
Place
face.
for 18-year-olds.
You know what I'm saying? For 18-year-olds, these 18-year-olds are turning up.
I got introduced to that when I was in California for work,
Yeah,
and I was there for 2 weeks, which is long ass time. And I was
that's cool.
I happened to know a buddy of mine moved out there, so I just stayed with him. I didn't have to do a
Mhm.
hotel or anything, but we went out one night, and the culture out there is just way different. By the way, I don't know if you've ever been to the West Coast.
Yeah, I've been a few
Like,
times.
so you know that it's a little bit.
LA, oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's super liberal.
Yes.
Anything goes.
Yeah, anything goes is a
Yeah.
great way to
Right.
put it.
Right.
But we met these couple of girls, and turns out they were big time
Ravers.
or what I don't know what to call them, ravers though.
Flower childs.
That's old.
But we
That's
went back.
60s.
We went back to do like a little post game action, just like drink
Right.
a little bit more, get this out. And these fucking girls, they're like, all right, like we want to play some music, and they play like some trance shit. Turn out the lights, and they both just were carrying around those gloves. They just had them with on person, like
On deck?
They keep that MF thing on them, the fucking gloves, and they just were putting on a light show for us. And I thought it was one of the weirdest but kind of funnest nights that I've had in a while.
Right.
And but it was with those gloves. And
You weren't on any drugs or anything?
I played the fifth.
Ooh, okay.
There it is.
My bad. Don't worry, Mom will see this podcast.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. Yeah. I get that, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's what's it called? Back when we were in college, we would party with a couple of the older guys on the soccer team, and they had this house, and they were
Big time.
ravers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Ravers.
Dang,
Right.
Ray boys.
So I remember we were, what'd you say? We're all belligerent,
Mhm.
right? And it was my birthday. This is I think this is my 20th birthday.
Wow, young shell.
I'm gone.
Mm.
Next, you know, the lights are off.
Yeah.
They had a strobe light in the house,
Oh.
and this guy on the team,
Oh yeah.
he had a soccer ball. Strobe light's going, and he's juggling, doing tricks with soccer ball. And I'm like,
hit in the face.
no, like he's like he had close control, but it was just I'm watching him, balls here, balls there. I'm like, what? I'm like, what's going on? And then like just the music's like, and I'm just like, I'm about to throw up.
Oh no.
And dude, I like went outside in the pouring rain to gather myself. I'm sitting on the ground,
Yeah.
like, and then he was, I was rooming with him at the time. I got back, my ass is so he thought I shit myself. So, but anyway, so I go back
The
inside.
water must have felt good though. You must be like,
Dude,
oh,
it brought me back to life.
oh, thank you.
And it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
Like I look like a psycho. I'm sitting on the stoop with no cover, just like this, like with the rain just coming on top of me. I'm like, dude, this feels amazing. So I
Yeah.
go back inside. It was literally like the Family Guy episode where they're all throwing up. Dude, I didn't.
Was the light still going?
No, someone had to cut the strobe light off.
That would have been
The
funny.
strobe
If,
light
like, you went back in and like the light was flashing. You just saw like,
You
like,
look like,
people
dude,
throwing up,
like-
like in stop motion. You're like, this isn't happening. This is
I
happening.
saw this one guy on the couch, Adam. He comes out of his sleep, throws up. It's in his hand, and then he goes to the bathroom. He's throwing up in the toilet. Another guy comes in there, starts laughing at him to the point where he's like cracking up laughing. He throws up in a laundry basket, and then someone sees that, and then they throw up on the floor. So it was like a chain reaction of puke, and I'm like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, hearing about this story because obviously the whole team, rest of the team heard about it. It was incredible. What a story.
It was
Dude, it
incredible.
was there was I think 7 people threw up
What?
from like a chain
It's
reaction.
like a movie scene.
Yeah, that's crazy.
from that strobe light. Because like I said, I was like, yo, if I'm feeling this way, it's gonna happen.
Oh, bro, I'm out, dude.
right. And
I've seen
I
people
got
throw up.
outside, the rain gathered me.
Yeah.
Then I got back to the room and I was done. I was
Dude.
cooked.
Next time you're in that position, man, you can go on the rain. But what really helps, bro, is if you just like inhale as long as you can, just and then just throw all that, yo. Your body
Bro,
just gets grounded when you
I
breathe.
thought I was in a club,
That's
and
how
I'm
crazy it
I'm
was.
just seeing a soccer ball here to there with the strobe light and him just dancing with the ball, and I'm like, whoa. I was like, I'm
Needs to
about to
stop.
like my eyes were just like crossed.
This needs to stop.
I was like, I need to get out.
I can't remember the last time I threw up. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't have any fun story about it. But like that seems like something that you would, if you were part of, that you would tell that.
I threw up
story
that night
over
when
and
we went
over
to
again.
karaoke
Uh,
when we were downtown.
you,
Where you guys go to Yakitori Boy?
Nah,
no,
we
no.
were
Oh,
at
bro.
we're at
Or is
JJ
it?
Bootleggers.
Is it? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to do Yakitori Boy. We did
Yeah.
You did last night,
Fuji
right?
Mountain karaoke last night, and it was alright. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a big squad. But
Right.
yeah, I didn't know that you were that belligerent, man.
It caught up with me
Oh,
because we
really?
were pre-gaming kind of hard before,
Okay.
and then once we got to there, I had the electric blue lemonade, so
yeah.
I'm chilling on that. Had another one. I'm feeling good,
Zesty.
and we're singing. I got the videos of it. I'll show you after this. We're singing.
Wait, you have that?
I still got the videos.
Oh man, that's cool.
So we're
That was a good
singing,
night.
and we're like singing, like
We're
belting,
singing,
yeah.
and like we get in a car, and you know me when it comes to cars when I'm drinking.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
true.
what it is.
Yeah.
I KO. Next
Dude.
you know, I wake up and it's go time.
Dude, I sleep in the car so easy, man. But
I'm with you on that, too.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I'm not driving.
I think it's because just like my childhood of road trips. Like, did your parents like take you places?
Oh
or-
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
well, we play travel soccer, so every weekend we're
Right. You're
traveling.
sleeping
That
on the
too.
bus,
Yeah.
Sleeping,
bro.
sleeping.
Yeah.
It's the most comfortable way. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
I can
wish-
easy KO
same.
easily.
There should be a thing in the future where instead of like a night mask or a sleep
Mhm.
mask, you put on a VR thing where you're in the car and like you just sit up.
Bro,
and just,
Yeah,
no
that's a
lie,
good- that's
That'd be
I
dope,
might
actually.
sleep better, like go to sleep faster in a car than I do in my own bed.
I'm gonna agree to that. I like that.
Yeah, you might not even be tired, and as soon as you're just in the passenger seat or that back seat,
Oh, the back seat.
you're starting.
Yeah. It might be, it could have something to do with like white noise when you just hear the wind and the car
that's
and
a good point,
the
yeah.
engine.
And then you gotta have that music that's like just low.
Just
It's just
low,
like,
low, not blasting,
Yeah,
and then
man. Just thinking about it right now makes me sleepy. Yeah.
But dude, so whenever I drink and if I KO in the car, 100% I will throw up.
Really?
I don't know
the
what it
spins or
is.
something.
I get the spins and then I can feel just a little doo-doo, and then I can hear myself. So depending on my position, I can get it out the car. But the one time I was in a bad position, and I was like, I couldn't. It was Britt's car, and I couldn't get the door. It's like the new car doors where it doesn't have the lock above the handle.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, I was like, how do I unlock this? I was like, I don't know where this thing's at.
So much urgency.
So I'm like, oh, I gotta get the window down. I was like, windows coming down.
Yeah.
And it's now like the new windows where the windows don't fully come down. They're like kind of
they stop. Yeah.
So I'm like,
That's stupid. I hate that,
dude.
man.
What's
I was
the
like,
purpose of that? Does anybody know? What is that for?
I think it's like for children.
It's probably for safety, man.
Yeah.
So that like when the car rolls over, you don't fly out, which is a valid point. But dude, I need the window open.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
why put the
So
option
I
there?
get my head out and it's like already. I'm just like, and I got a little bit on her car, but she pulled over and
Wait,
then I
is this the
opened the
Uber?
door. No,
Oh,
it was-
really?
I
Thank
threw up in
God.
an Uber twice.
Did you have to pay the fine?
150
Yo,
both
it's
times.
a hefty fee. It's a
150 both
hefty
times.
fee.
Sheldon, you're a savage.
Dude, but the
bro.
one time, man, I was so mad because we were in a.
Twice is a lot, dude.
That's a
Dude,
lot,
that's
dude.
a lot, man.
That's a lot, yeah.
I barely know
Yeah.
anybody that's done it once, let alone twice.
Dude, because like I said, if we're out drinking and then that's why I don't like going downtown to get drunk and then go back to Ben Salem.
Yeah.
Unless I'm staying downtown because the Uber ride is long.
Yeah, that's a heavy
35
one. Yeah,
minutes.
it's a heavy
Whoa,
one.
wait, you would Uber from
Yeah.
Benson? Y'all
So we were
crazy,
in
man.
an
Y'all
eight-
got that Play-Doh money to do
Bro,
that.
yeah.
Bro,
Bro.
you've never seen me do that.
Bro, we were in an 8-person Uber, right? We're coming back. I'm in
Makes
the
it
back
easier, yeah.
row. I'm in the back row, and I was fighting myself not to fall asleep. I'm like, dude, if you fall asleep, because I was on one. I was like, if you fall asleep, it's go time. So, and then I'm just like this, out, right? And then as I'm asleep, I can hear myself
Oh, that is
in my
the
sleep,
worst.
This is so
right? So
gross.
I'm like, yo, and I come to my senses. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in the back of a minivan. Oz is in front of me. I'm tapping. I'm like, yo, move over so I can get out the window, right? He's like this. He's out. He's about to get sick. I'm like, dude, this is bad. I was like, this is awful.
Yo,
right
how
now.
hard are y'all going, man? That's crazy.
Dude, we were at
Yeah, what were y'all doing?
we were at fucking what the hell is it called? Morgan's Pier.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So it's summertime.
Right.
All right.
So I'm like,
Makes
and
sense.
I can feel it. It's here.
Yeah, the
It's
beast is
knocking.
in
Your
there.
mouth,
right?
your mouth start watering and all that
Dude,
kind of stuff.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Oz is KO'd.
He's out.
And the window's too far,
Yeah.
right? So I'm just like, I know my way of fighting it. If I take deep gulps, I can keep it down.
Wow,
So I'm
this
like
is
this.
gross.
Yeah,
I'm like
this
this.
is
I'm
gross.
like keep it down. I'm like doing like that, right?
Yeah.
Next, you know, I take a big one. I'm like, it's out, yo. It's like this.
Like spurts
Yo,
out. Like
it's like this. I feel it. It's in my mouth. I'm like, and I swallow it, right? And I'm like, and then round 2. I'm like, dude, I'm holding it.
I
didn't-
keep, dude,
hold on, wait, wait.
swallowing it is a
Yeah,
savage
I was.
move.
It was a sin. It was a
Oh
sin to
my
swallow that.
God.
Yo, so I'm
Dude.
like this. My second hand didn't
Yeah.
get up fast enough. It was like,
Like a guy.
right?
Did
So-
any get on Oz?
Hold on. So I'm like this.
Oh no.
So and then all you hear in the car is if when water spills. So Jeff is like this. Jeff was on his phone. He was next to Oz, and he was like this. Looks at me, right? He's like, "Bro, you didn't fucking throw up, did you?" And I'm like this. I'm looking at him. I'm like this. Yo, splashing,
like
right?
a leaky faucet.
So I'm like, Jeff, put the window down, right? He's like, all right. So I'm like this, dude. My lap is fucking soaked. I'm
you
like
still have
this.
these pants?
That's so.
Nah, I
gross.
threw him out.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Yo,
you got to.
Yo,
after
my
that.
lap. I was wearing a long tee, so luckily it was in a long tee. I was like this, and I'm like this
That
out
is
the window,
Filthy.
right? I'm like
That is
I'm like
filthy.
this. I'm like this
Dude.
out the window, right? It's all over my hands.
Oh my.
And yo, Jeff was like this. He was like, bro, that fucking stinks. I'm like, I am so sorry.
And you know that Uber driver is smelling
yo,
that too
and
tight as
Cr-
hell.
and
Dog, what was the Uber driver saying?
He was driving. He was just like this, just chilling.
Yeah, he was tight.
and Chris was just like, oh my god. And I was like, dude, I'll Venmo you right now. I am so sorry. So that was the
Wow.
second. That might have been the first or the second time. And Dude, it was like chunk because we ate pizza before we got in the
Bro,
Uber.
I'm sick at this story.
Bro, it was gnarly.
Hey, yo, you really are a savage, man.
No, man, I hate it. That's why I don't even, because I drink so infrequently now
Yeah.
because of like work and like just like busy on weekends
Just life,
sometimes.
yeah.
So when I tend to go hard, I try to match people's energies.
Hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even on my birthday, like
Yeah,
I
wasn't
was
there.
out
heard
by
about, I heard
9.
about that though.
we started the pregame at 7. We got trashed.
Yeah.
We bought 50 cents vodka, effing vodka. That shit
Yeah.
is smoother than Ciroc.
Why you like that?
Bro, killed that shit.
I fucking hate it.
Killed it. So and then we had the Ciroc, killing the Ciroc.
Yeah, Ciroc.
I'm doing double shots everywhere. Next thing you know, mind you, I didn't eat that day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we order McDonald's, right? McDonald's gets there. I'm like, yo, let's go. I'm already like feeling it. I had 20 nuggets, fries. I got my fries. I'm eating my fries. I'm like, I don't feel like eating this. I leave it. Then I feel it come. I go outside. I puke. I was puking up like full on French fries outside my house. I'm like, did I not
dude.
chew?
Look at Brandon's face and
I was
my
like,
face.
I was like, did I not chew? I can feel the
This is
crystallized
grossing me
salt
out,
breaking my
bro.
shit.
This is nuts.
Dude, and that's what led to the famous picture of me passed out in my bathroom, just like
I know
hanging
that
in,
picture,
hanging
yeah.
out.
You were dead.
Gone.
Yo, sidetrack before I tell my own story here.
Right.
I heard that you can get 10 chicken nuggets at Burger King for $1.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You can.
Have you
Bro.
done this?
I haven't done it, but I know.
$10, 100 nuggets.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Who's
didn't
trying to do
think
that
of
for the next episode?
They
Mukbang? A little mukbang, right?
Bro.
Is that what they're called? When people eat in front of a camera? It's a YouTube thing.
isn't that ASMR or something?
Yo, man, you some
Nah.
weird stuff, bro.
Nah, but you never seen that? That's like
No.
trending thing. That was like the trend of 2018.
What, people
Mukbangs.
eat food in front of people?
They would get a shit ton of food and they would just conversate and eat.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I remember you told me about this.
Yeah.
This is dumb as hell.
It is stupid as hell.
But I mean, we just have a podcast where we eat chicken nuggets. That doesn't sound bad to me.
No, it's
Not bad to me,
good.
but
All
it would
right,
be
next time
called a
Brandon
mukbang.
comes on, that's what we're doing. We're doing a mukbang. Heavy. But yeah, let me tell you a story.
Hell
The thing
yeah.
is, you know everybody in the story, and I don't want to dispose their...
Do I know this story going into it?
No, you know everybody in the story, though.
Mm.
But when you first launched into this whole throw-up thing, I thought you were going to say that being in the car, you go to sleep, you wake up, you're ready to go. Like, you sleep off
Every
the
time.
trunk.
No. I'm ready to go after I throw up. I'm good to go.
Here's the story, man. So,
This
this
is
is the
good.
first year at Temple, man, and my buddy, we'll just call him Rob. We'll call him Rod, and we'll call the other buddy Binky, right? So check it out.
Rod and Binky.
So I'm
You
at.
could just say the names and we could bleep it.
Nah, I don't want to go
I
back.
would- the
and
bleeps would be
edit
funny.
this.
Yeah,
Bleeps
bleeps
would be funny.
I don't want to go back and edit this that much, man. We're like an hour in or something. So
Rod and Dinky.
I'm at Steve's place, and my buddy Rod calls me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go to Made in America?" And I'm like, "Made in America? Like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
but how much are tickets?" He's like, "Don't worry about it. I got it."
Oh, word.
So I was like, "Okay, cool."
Bet.
So I'm in the car with this guy, and I'm like, "How'd you get?" Yeah, I was like, "How'd you get Made in America tickets?" And he goes, "Yo, I do people's paper for them at school. So like when athletes have like work to do, I do the work for them, and they give me some money
hustle.
or they give me some stuff. So they gave me some like 4 Made in America tickets.
Oh,
Call
shit.
Binky, call Rod. We meet at Steve's house. Now when Rod gets there, he's super drunk. He's
Right.
like smashed out of his mind. After the podcast, I'm gonna tell you who all these people are,
Right.
but like smashed out of his mind. And he's like, "You guys ready to go?" And I was like,
Right.
"Are you ready to go? You
Right.
don't look like you're ready to go."
He's
like,
Blitzkrieg
"Yeah,
Bob."
yeah, bro. We're going to Made in America. Let's go right now. Call the Uber." It's the middle of the day. You know, I'm Made in America. It's like afternoon.
Uh-huh.
I'm in my gear, bro. I have my bandana, everything.
Right.
We're ready to go. He's asleep in the car, right? We get
Uh-huh.
out. He's barely alive. We're walking. There's like 1,000 people. We go to see A$AP Rocky was on the main stage. And so we went up to the main stage, but we're hanging in the back
Right.
because there's just a drove
Too many
of people.
people.
Yeah.
Mobbed, yeah.
And so he goes, "You know what, man? I'm gonna sit down."
ASAP
He
mob.
goes, "I'm gonna sit down and just go to sleep real quick, right?"
In
And
the
we're like,
grass?
"Excuse me?"
Right.
He just lays down in front of everybody and goes to sleep, right? Just boom, knocks out. And everyone's like, "Is your friend okay?" You know how that goes. Like, "Is your
Right,
friend
right.
okay?" And we're just
Do we
like,
have to
"Yeah,
call
like
the
we're-
meds?"
we're trying to get him up. We're like, "Yeah, he's cool. Like he's just chilling." we
Yeah,
were just saying
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like Biggie's like, "Don't worry about it, man."
Right.
And so he's just like asleep, right? And then people start getting aggressive. They're like, "You should call somebody. You should call somebody." I'm like, "Nah, like he's cool, right?"
Right.
So right when I say that, Rod gets up and he just throws up on himself, right?
Oh, no.
And he's just like, I'm good. And he goes back to sleep,
Yeah.
right? So we're like, yikes, like this is crazy.
Right.
I try to get him up, like, dude, you need to get up. And he's like, no, I'm not. He's like, I'm good. I just need to sleep for a little bit.
Right.
So Binky's like, yo, let's go to another stage. I'm like, we can't just leave him here. He's like,
Right.
bro, he's gonna be cool. We go to another stage, man, right?
No, he's not.
Like in Main America, there's like 3 different stages. So like,
Right.
there's the main one we were at. Then we went to the electronic one. I saw
Right.
Porter Robinson. That was crazy.
Right.
We went back to ASAP Rocky to find him. Gone. There's just like a puddle of throw up where his body was. He's completely gone, right? Yo, the story's gonna be better once you know who this person is.
Right,
You're gonna be like, I can't believe this. We're going around just to different places looking for him.
Right.
Like literally, we've devolved to the point where we're yelling his name. Like,
Just
Rod,
like-
Rod, where you at, Rod? We're completely sober. Everything's cool. We go over to stage right. So we came from stage left. We stopped in the middle stage to find him. Throw up pile. He wasn't there. We go to stage right. 2 Chainz is on. This is when 2 Chainz was like,
Big.
was popping.
dude, at
The
the
guy.
peak.
The guy.
At the peak. We're right.
Right.
Dude, he was doing, listen, we walk up to the crowd. He's crowd surfing. He's on top of
What?
everybody, bro. The throw up is gone. The shirt is gone, right? And he's just awake, just like he came back to life. That
Right.
nap when he was like, I need to go to
Puking
sleep.
around.
All life.
Dude, he puked it out and just came right back to life.
That's what happens to me, man.
Dude, and the rest of the day he was Gucci, just perfectly fine, bro. It was nuts.
I had another throw up story. It was when we were at the NFL lockout, the first game, freshman year.
This is Andrewcast puke
Flyers.
story for a little bit.
We're at the
Fly-
Flyers
the
game.
Flyers. Yeah, the Flyers.
You threw up in the link?
Bro, I threw up outside of a
Threw up
minivan on
like
95.
95.
In a minivan.
Yeah.
Like, getting the door.
I could probably find a picture actually of him when he's passed out. It's pretty funny. Yeah, in the van, bro. Just we had
Bro.
to stop. It looked like the the Good Kid, Mad City album cover.
With the van.
It
That's
straight
like
up
the van.
was that van.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like old school, like not late '90s
Right.
van.
So this was freshman year, and I think Bud Light Platinums were new.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, we fucking
I never had a Bud Light Platinum at that moment, right? So we had it. I didn't realize that those things do you dirty.
Yeah.
They're like
heavy.
9% or something.
Right. Bro, we were slamming them.
Yeah.
Slamming.
Slamming. Just
Right.
knocking them back.
Next, you
in
know,
the parking
like-
lot of the Link
Oof. Pre-game in
or
the
Wells
parking
Fargo,
lot.
And I
rather.
think I was fine until I got in the car.
Yeah.
the
car, man.
It's
It's a
probably just
silent
shaking
killer.
you up, bro.
Silent
That's what
killer.
I'm saying.
Probably
like,
just
little-
shaking you
little
up.
fizzy.
Yeah, like
And-
getting you fizzy.
And they, man. And then we went to another party that night. And I tried to take a sip of alcohol. I was like,
Your body just rejected it.
Yeah.
didn't take
Bro.
it instantly.
Bro.
So we were at a party and I was just I was sober because my body wouldn't take it.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad because I threw up so much at the minivan. I think
I don't know why our conversation's going this way, but I was in like
happens every
an
episode.
eating-
Andrewcast
I
55.
was in an eating competition, quote unquote.
Right.
And I got to the point where I was so full that I tried to put food in my mouth. My body was like, like it literally made a
No,
noise, like,
yeah, not happening.
can't do it, like full.
Like the
And
operator.
I knew if I ignored
Operation?
it, yeah, like the
Yeah.
dude, like I knew if I ignored it, I would
Right.
throw up. I actually I had such a reverence for what my body told me. Like I stopped, I put everything down, and I was just like, I'm done.
You had a moment. You're
Dude,
just like,
I was at
can't do
Westchester University. They have this place called Buddy's Burgers. They don't do this anymore, but they had this challenge called the Enemy Challenge.
it. Yeah.
And you could pay $25, and they would make you 21 bacon cheeseburgers.
What the
right?
How many did you eat?
But hold on, they would split it into like groups of 4 with
Right.
bread, and then they'd give you 1 large fry. If you can eat it in half an hour,
Jesus.
you get your money back. You get a T-shirt,
How much was it again?
25.
Okay.
You get a T-shirt that
That's a good
says
deal for them
you get a
burgers.
T-shirt that
Yeah.
says you beat the challenge. It's an exclusive T-shirt just for
Right,
you,
right,
and you get your name on the wall
right.
and your picture. It doesn't sound like a lot, but like
Right.
I was dumb college kid. Like I really wanted to
You
do
thought
it.
you got it.
So yeah, so I walked in. I was just like, I'm trying to do the buddies. I'm trying to do the enemy challenge, and they're
Right.
like, "Are you sure about that?" Like they did a John
They
Cena. They're
definitely
like,
know.
"Are you
They
sure
know
about
that.
that?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah," and they're just like, "All right, 25." It wasn't even on the menu. Like it wasn't. I just knew about it going in.
So how many burgers again is it?
It's 21.
21.
So I sit down,
How approximately could you just show me, like, do you think with your hands how big they are? Because
dude.
21 burgers is a fucking
They're
ton
like
of
this.
burgers.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
that's
So
what-
they're like
that's
little
like a
slider guys,
slider.
Yeah,
kind
but
of.
there's
Okay.
21 of
Yeah,
them.
no, I
You
mean,
know
it's
what I'm
a
saying?
ton.
So it's a lot. I'm not talking about something that you would get at Red Robin. I'm talking about like a McDouble you would buy at McDonald's.
Mhm.
So
Even that. That's,
it's a lot,
I
bro.
don't even know
Yeah.
if I can eat more than 2.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm going in, man. I'm eating. There's a few people in there. Then people start seeing I'm doing the enemy, so they're paying me attention. There's a guy that literally is like sounds like a henchman from Batman. Who's like, "You can do it, do it, go."
Level 9 crook.
Dude, yeah, level 9 crook, just like some side video game character that you beat in the first level. That was like, "Go, you could do it." I'm trying to ignore him. I'm eating, bro. 15 minutes in, I'm sweating. Like I know this is not good for my body. I got the meat sweats going down. The burgers were so hot. Because there's a time limit. Like it was hot off the press, and I had 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That I was literally taking French fries and using that as bread to eat the burger, so I wasn't burning my hands. That's how intense it was. I was like, dude, I can't believe I signed up for this. I got down to 4 burger patties left. I ate the fries. There were 4 left.
That's impressive.
And I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And as soon as I had to go to the bathroom, everyone was like, "Oh."
Oh,
and like I was like,
they knew.
I was like, "What?" Like I just have to go to the bathroom. When I was in the bathroom, it's that same thing. Like when you look at the wall and you realize, like, "What am I doing here, man?" Like when you're peeing, like it just came to me. I was like, "What am I doing to my body?"
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
And then I was like, "You can handle this, right, body?" And my body's like, "No." So like, I sit back down, bro. I tried to take the one burgers. The henchman guy was like, "You got 4 more, bro. Let's go."
Yeah.
I just like took that third burger and I was just like, I took one bite and I couldn't chew it. My body was like, "Wrong. Try again." So I just like spit that out and I quit, right?
Yeah.
So the guy was like, "You came pretty close." That's all he said.
Yeah.
The chef came over to take away the food. Not the chef, the waiter came over to take away the food. And all he said to me was like, you were pretty close, man.
Right.
And everyone was like, "You did a pretty good job." And I was so upset. And I said, like, who can do this? Like, show me the person that can do this.
Right.
And there's a guy in there that was watching me the whole time that did it.
Yeah.
And he was like,
What he said? Did he say like what his strategy was at all?
yeah,
or-
hold on. So like he goes, well, I actually did it, man. I look and this guy is first off twice my size. Unit, bro.
Yeah.
Huge. Huge. He's like, "Yeah, I did that." And then I just went over to the bar and started drinking afterwards. I was like,
Psychopath.
huh? So I think his strategy, bro, was just
You're like, "Nani?"
sheer size.
Yeah.
Right? And then I went over on the board, and sure enough, there was a picture of him. And I was like, this guy's a Westchester University legend. What's
Right.
crazy is that my friends afterwards that I was with, they were like, dang, that made us hungry. And so they went to Burger King to get food.
Right.
And I was waiting by Burger King, and the smell of Burger King.
Repulsive.
Dude, I sat outside like, I want to die. Someone kill me. Like,
Right.
that's literally what it was. I never did anything like that ever again. I came so freaking close, though.
You probably would have died if you actually finished the last 3.
I probably would have died.
All that red meat probably was terrible for your body.
This is what would have happened.
Yeah.
My mind would have been like, "Do this now," and I would have been forcing it down and not chewing it, and then I would have choked. That's it. But yeah, that's my crazy story. This podcast went a really weird direction.
All over the place.
There was a time though, man,
Happens.
where I fancied myself to be quite the eater, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just how I was raised. Like, I don't know how it was with you guys. I wasn't allowed to leave the table until food was finished.
Same.
Man. But I'm talking everything. That joint had to be clean.
Yeah, I would cry at the table sometimes. Like, I don't like
Because
eggplant.
they make you eat like
I was like,
whatever.
I don't like
bullshit.
eggplant.
Yeah.
Please don't make me eat it.
Same, bro. Isn't that crazy?
Eat your food. And I'm like, it's so awful.
That's
I was
hilarious.
the same with broccoli and stuff, man. I was
Really?
so mad at my
I
grandparents.
love veggies, bro. I just hate eggplant. That is repulsive to me.
Try Brussels sprouts, dog.
Yo,
My parents
I
make
like
you
Brussels
sprouts.
worst.
Dude.
They just stink.
The worst.
Actually, no, I don't like. I had that mixed with cauliflower. I hate Brussels sprouts.
How'd you have it mixed with cauliflower?
Because I mess with cauliflower heavy. I don't know why. I just was thinking cauliflower, and then when you said Brussels sprouts, I
Yeah.
associated that
Yeah.
together.
Yo, some people go on like a whole just vegetable juice cleanse. where
I've
that's
done it a
all
couple
they-
times.
I've heard about it too.
How much weight do you lose? Because Gus
A
actually
lot.
did it. He said he lost 5 pounds in a week. I said, son,
Dude, if you do
that's
it,
a lot.
you could. Well, because you're getting pretty much every fucking nourishment your body needs
Well,
besides meat.
It's
Yeah.
also the main thing for weight loss, like quick weight loss is it's just caloric deficit. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh, snap.
Because
yeah.
a lot of because you're getting natural sugars that break down very fast.
Yeah.
Everything in it's natural, so it's breaking down fast. So it means your body's turning it over quicker,
Yeah.
which means that you're gonna get hungry. You're gonna get hungrier faster.
Mm.
But fruit will not, unless you have to eat so much fruit for it to match like 1,000 calorie meal.
It'd be ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just
So much
fruits
fruit.
and veggies just naturally have way less calories and a
Right.
source of protein.
They say that
Right.
chicken, though, is kind of like that. Like chicken just is your body burns it up fast.
Well, because
It's very lean.
I was just gonna say because it's so lean.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's why.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what they recommend on Weight Watchers. That
Yeah.
you just make yourself.
But at the
some
same time,
fresh
it just
chicken.
gets boring after a while.
Dude,
That's the
it
problem
does.
with a lot of diets is that they get boring.
I meal prep, man, and eating that is
Yeah.
like eating cardboard sometimes. I'm like, I
Yeah.
hate this, man.
And you don't want it to get to a point because a lot of people love chicken,
Yeah.
but you don't want to get to a point where it's like you're tired of it.
No. When you
But
get
I-
tired of chicken, go Chick-fil-A.
But it's just facts. I think there's so many different ways that you can make
There
chicken
are.
which is why it's so
That's
many
true.
people love it 'cause it's so versatile.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That I think that if you're creative enough, you can get away with
Yeah,
it.
rice and beans, could eat that all day.
I can't do rice anymore, man. I just
Wow.
Really?
can't. I feel like it's just straight carbs I'm taking, and I feel weird when I eat it now.
I love rice.
Yeah, I fuck with rice so
Yeah,
much
I love
too.
rice.
I mean, if it's
Yeah, but you love pasta,
bro,
right?
nah, I don't, man.
Not anymore.
I feel guilty, bro, because my parents would
You're
make
raised on
pasta
it.
all the
I
time.
was just
right.
thinking that too.
Right, man. Like, it's just true. I'm not even trying to be racist, but like Italian families, like you're just gonna eat pasta all the
Yeah.
time. And I didn't realize when I was older how bad that was for me, because it's just straight up carbs. It's like you're just eating bread.
Right.
It's like the bread basket
Yeah.
comes around, you just stuff in your face in the bread
Right.
basket. That's how pasta is.
Yeah,
So
I don't
distance
eat
myself
that
from
much
it.
pasta anymore.
Dude, I've had enough of it in my life that I don't have to have it for like 10 years. I'll be
Like
happy.
my family thinks I'm crazy because I don't eat like red meat that often.
Yeah,
I'll have it like maybe once a month or maybe once every couple months.
yeah.
Because they like my mom and her sister, my aunt, they were raised on like steak and potatoes, steak, potatoes, rice. Like
Mhm.
I don't know, and I'm just like.
Red
Like
meat.
when it comes to burgers and stuff, like I don't really care for a burger.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a burger guy.
I'm all about it. But red meat's the one that gives people problems.
Yeah,
Like you're either
down the
good with
line.
it or you're not good with it. I know some people that
Yeah.
avoid it altogether. But
I don't know. I don't get problems from it. It's just like I don't know. I just stay away from it.
Well,
I don't know why. I don't really.
I'll
have
tell you
reason.
what. We were talking about this not too long ago, but I just did in Philly. It's Restaurant Week, and one
Oh,
of the
yeah, it's over.
it's
Sucks.
awesome. Yeah.
Hmm.
Or yeah, well, it just ended.
Yeah.
But I went to one of those Brazilian steakhouses, like Fogo de Chao, but it's called Chima.
Chima.
you ever been to those?
Yeah, I've been a photo
Oh, it's
show.
fire, fire, so
It's
good.
good stuff.
But similarly with him, and I guess with you too, maybe I don't eat a ton of red meat. I eat mainly like chicken or pork or something. But most of the meats there are red meat.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, it's all you can eat.
Oh yeah.
And so we didn't eat in preparation.
they
Like
give
we
you
were
that
just-
card where it's like the green is
the
we're
green,
good and
yep,
the red is
yep,
like chill.
yep.
Oh,
and we
snap.
kept that shit on green the whole time.
That's
dude.
what you gotta do.
Yeah. So they literally just kept coming and just piling meat on. But I ate so much red meat, literally so much red meat. And I don't eat a lot, like,
Yeah.
but I hadn't eaten in preparation for it. The next day, I felt like I had just gone on a bender, dude. I was hungover. I didn't go to work.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how messed up your system
Yeah,
was.
dude, it fucked me up.
Bro, it's a lot of salt, man. There's a
It
lot
fucked,
of salt.
It fucked
in
me
red
up.
meat.
Like, I mean, in
Were
the
you
moment,
drinking a lot of water though?
I was drinking alcohol.
Oh,
I mean, no,
so he was
I
dehydrated.
no. I mean, I had a beer.
Okay.
But like I had a beer with dinner. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just typically what I do. But I looked it up because I was so fucked up from it. I looked it up, and apparently,
it's a thing.
like the hangover effect is a common thing from eating too much red meat
Wow.
in one sitting.
Wow.
And apparently, that's what I had.
I would have definitely tried to douse that in water because the salt's gonna
Yeah.
help you retain more water. You'll
Yeah.
be more hydrated. You'll probably feel better. But that's just not good for you to do in general.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I remember I was at a Brazilian steakhouse and I was eating, and I was like, dude, I feel like the kings that are the bad guys in movies. You know, like the whole town is starving, and I'm like,
Right.
haha, like
Right.
just
Yeah,
stuffing my
yeah.
face. I felt so gluttonous and evil.
Right.
That's how I felt, man.
It
but it was delicious.
It was, dude. It was so good in
It
the
was
moment, and it
amazing,
was. We were just talking about it. We were just like that, like, because I mean, you're getting like prime cuts of
Oh,
meat,
yeah.
like fucking
Expensive.
lamb
It's
and
like
shit.
$75 a head. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
you just
yeah.
rock out.
Yep.
You rock.
A lot of food,
heavy.
man. It could put you out for 2 days.
Yeah, I forget my brother did something dope.
You were just recently there, weren't you, at Fogo?
I was there, but
For your
like,
brother's birthday or
I
something
was,
like that?
yeah, I think it might have been my little bro's birthday, or like he did something good. I don't know, but we all went out to eat there, and it literally was just crazy.
Mhm.
Like filet mignon. When you if you haven't eaten filet mignon before, like when you eat it, you're just like, wow, like this is
Like this is a
tremendous.
thing that exists.
Yeah, this is
Right.
tremendous. Like this came from an animal, man.
Have
So-
you had Wagyu yet?
No.
I've had
Is that
Wagyu.
Japanese?
Yeah, it's Japanese marbled.
It can be,
like,
yeah.
Ooh.
like steak.
I had Kobe, but
expensive.
continue.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
So one of Josh's friends, he bought it, got it shipped over here. It was like, dude, it was like literally $95 for a fillet.
What?
One fillet.
Dude, when you look at this piece, it's actually very similar to Kobe. You look at this piece of meat like raw, it's
crazy.
It almost just looks like a piece of fat, and it just straight up melts because it's like 80% fat.
So and dude, this thing was like you're holding it like from the middle like this, and you can just see the meat just ripping off itself. Like
It's actually so much fat content because that if you leave it out room temperature, it'll start to melt.
Whoa.
right. So we cooked it. Right, there was 5 of us. One fillet. This fillet was massive. It was like we're talking like big.
Bro, it better be for $95.
Yeah,
So, dude, we're cutting it. Dude, I take the first bite. I was like melting. Dude, as soon as it touched my tongue, the steak was gone. I was like, dude, this is like the best piece of steak. So, what we did was, there was like a little bit left over, so we cut them up into thin slices. Then we put them in baggies. So I took a bag. Devin took a bag.
To
so
work?
I gave him the bag, right? I said, yo, try this. Heat it up if you want to.
Yeah.
So I think he had 3 pieces. He took one at like refrigerated cold, and he was like, yo, like cold.
Yeah, I didn't want to heat it up because I didn't want to like ruin it.
Change the
Basically, yeah.
properties
If I microwaved it or something, I feel like it would have fucked it up.
Yeah.
So I just took it cold, and that shit was
Delicious.
that was probably the best piece of steak I've ever had, and it was a cold piece of steak.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. I gotta find a picture of it too, because that dude, it looked nuts.
I think it's part of the diet they
Let me
give
see
the
if I can
cow.
find it.
I know for
It's
Kobe,
exactly what it is. Yeah.
I know for Kobe they actually like give the cow, I think, like alcohol. They make it like really really fat, and like that's how they do it.
They treat them like basically just like kings.
Yeah, they
massage them and they
massage them, and then they kill them. Like how
Yeah.
crazy is that? Like
And they kill
they
'em.
give them the best life, kill them, and then they make their
because they
flesh.
make an absolute ton of money on them.
Oh yeah,
on
bro.
the
So
show.
much money.
What I really bang with is prosciutto, man. Like,
Yeah. Little prosciutto.
when I went to Italy, prosciutto. When I went to Italy, man, I went to this place called Italy, and there's one in New York too. It's just like a huge upscale grocery store that's just like floors and floors of like every food that you could imagine, and they just had like pigs just hanging, bro. They were dehydrated to the point where like they could be made into prosciutto. And we
Yeah.
had some of that, and it was just like you could buy a whole leg of it. It's amazing, man. And I always feel weird when I talk about eating meat because I know that like there are people that are very much against it.
For sure.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I respect your belief or whatever, man. But that was delicious.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
can't lie.
Right.
I can't lie and say that it wasn't.
You're missing out,
delicious.
man. You're
Yeah,
missing
man.
out.
Yeah, my girlfriend and her sister, they're vegan.
Really?
Yeah, they've been vegan for 3 years now.
And they're cool with you just not being vegan.
Yeah, they're not. They don't force it on anyone.
Yo,
Okay.
tell them what you were telling me the other day about how they like kind of break sometimes.
Yeah, so they really miss cheese. Like they really miss cheese.
Are they being vegan for ethical reasons or just for health reasons?
Yeah, that's a good
both?
question.
It's
Actually,
like it's kind of both.
Okay.
They come from a very animal friendly household.
Okay.
They have like 3 dogs, 2 turtles, 2 cats. But the dogs are, besides the one dog, the other dogs are like kind of on their way out. They're
Yeah.
older. The cat, they had 4 cats. They're down to the last cat. So
Dang.
You know.
cat people.
yeah,
That's cool.
they had a dog and 4 cats. Now they have 3 dogs and 1 cat left.
Wow.
Yeah, so, they're very conscious. They recycle. They do, a lot of go green type of stuff. So they did it to see like what was at first the health benefits of it, drastic differences.
Right.
Like, because you're getting your protein differently, so your body reacts differently. And then it also became ethically that they stuck with it. But like I said, they miss cheese a lot.
Right.
Cheese is, I'm not the biggest fan of cheese. If I didn't have cheese, I'm okay without it.
Yeah.
But I do like cheese on certain food sprinkled in. So like sometimes I forget what she ate. Oh, we were having sushi. She loves sushi, and she got a sweet potato roll, and I got the spicy yellowtail roll. I think.
Okay.
They look very similar.
Bro, I'm about to get sushi after this. You're killing me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they look very similar, right?
Yeah.
So she's eating it. She's like, I don't know why the sweet potato roll tastes funny. So she had like 4 rolls.
It's hilarious.
And then I'm like, that's not sweet potato. And she's like, Oh my god! And like that was like her really bad break.
Did
where,
her
like,
eyes just open like?
yeah,
She's probably loving it
she
too.
went to she went to throw up too. She threw up.
threw
Oh,
up?
she threw up on my food. Once she realized it was fish, I'm in the middle of eating and she puked on my food, and I'm like, I was like, how extra are you?
Reoccurring theme.
I would
bro.
say a lot of puke talk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Puke talk.
Hold on, was she like horrified or was she like
Horrified.
this tastes gross?
Once it triggered her that she was eating, it tasted
I
nasty.
don't know though
Wow.
because you can't
No, because when she
take down 4 pieces and be like,
no,
oh now it
because she
tastes
was like
bad.
she was like
Wow.
she was like this at first. She was eating it. She was like, that tastes so funny. She's like, I don't know what it is. And then she ate another one.
But
And she was like,
it definitely didn't taste bad though. I mean, if she kept
No,
eating,
'cause
like,
she
you
wasn't-
don't eat something 4 times if it tastes bad.
well, I mean, sushi's small, so you can like get away with like you chew it and then like you can kind of swallow it or whatever. So she was just like, she's like, why does this taste so funny? She thought maybe the sweet potato was bad
Right.
because you gotta remember we got 2 rolls each, so she still had more to go.
Right.
They just for some reason put the sweet potato and my roll in the same
Together,
one,
yeah.
and they look identical. So and I ate the sweet, and I thought it was sweet potato. I'm like, that sweet potato does taste funny. Then I realized that it wasn't sweet potato, and I was like, oh, once I realized it, obviously I like it.
Yeah.
But when I thought it was supposed to be sweet potato, and then you eat it like that, you're like,
This doesn't taste like
this doesn't taste right.
Dang.
So
that's a crazy realization.
yeah,
The only time I've ever felt like that is when I drank expired milk one time.
Oh.
I took a shot of milk heavy, dog. I was like, I didn't even know what I was thinking. Like, usually I put milk in my protein shake.
right.
I was like, bro, I'm going to take this milk to the head. Yo, it just tasted
That
like
is
death.
foul.
I was like,
curds.
wow.
Yeah,
That is
curds.
foul.
Yeah, but I can't imagine I say that to say I can't imagine being at a point where I'm so used to eating a vegan lifestyle that even just the taste of meat would make me want to throw up. I can't imagine.
Yeah, we gotta
being in
remember
that space.
try not having a piece of meat in like over 3 years.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It'd be really. I think if she had a piece of steak now, her body would shut down
That's wild.
because there's so much sodium
Yeah, there's
in
light,
steak.
yeah.
Yeah. Like it could probably like it could shut down like an organ.
Dude, I mean,
Like if she ate a whole like just a good sized fillet.
there's definitely a lot, and that's why your face gets puffy like after you drink
Right.
stuff, man. My face is puffy because I probably just hit this heavy, and this got sodium.
I ate what did I eat the other day? I ate something the other day. I thought I was having an allergic reaction.
Is
My
your
face
all-
my
yeah.
face swelled up. I forget what I ate.
It's weird. This is my opinion on veganism, right? So there's a guy I used to work with when I worked for the moving company, whose name is Troy, and shout out to Troy. He's jacked, like just just big.
Right.
And he's a vegan, man. And I was just like, bro, how do you do it? Like,
Right.
you're a dude that lifts heavy stuff for a living. Like, you don't eat meat. Like, what do you? All of his protein is soy. Like, he makes like these like
Tofu.
expensive like soy like tofu. He's just like, yeah, dog, I'm a vegan. And, like, this is the
Soy has so much protein in
He's
it.
like-
It's sickening.
he said this is the healthiest way to be. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I don't feel any weaker. It's like I've actually just gotten stronger. Like, he's a super proponent of it. He's not mover anymore right now. He works as a bouncer at Ardmore Music Hall. And then I talked to somebody who went to school and kind of studied nutrition and stuff. And I was like, what's up with this whole veganism thing? I was like, is it as hot as it's being made out to be? And she told me, she goes, look, the best way in any sort of meal plan to be is balanced. So
Right.
it's not good to have all
Yeah.
meat. It's not good to have all vegetables. You should try and find it in between. She's like, that's just like biological right there.
But I think that's what vegans do is that they kind of trick their body
Mm-hmm.
into thinking it's similar,
Yeah.
but it's not. But you're getting the same amount of nutritional value. So like, they'll make things with tofu, and they'll make like stir fry, and they can season it in a way it tastes like there's chicken in there
Yeah.
or like steak.
Yeah,
So
except
like,
for
it's
tofu.
not.
You already know my opinion on tofu, though. That
I don't
shit's
mind
like a
tofu.
sponge,
I
man.
rock with tofu.
I hate the texture of it.
Yeah, it
But you-
it seems
it's-
like
it
it
also has to
Jello,
be-
but then doesn't taste like Jello.
No,
That's
It
really
just
what's
just
going
has
on.
to be made.
It's like a mind. It is. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
like what you're just saying. It's like a little bit of a mind trick, which
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point.
That's
of
the
it, but-
point. So it's just depends on who makes it, how it's made. Because I've had bad tofu where I'm just like, this is too,
Yeah,
like you said, too spongy.
Ugh.
Like,
Oh,
that's.
But-
yeah.
I'm a bit like I know you like miso soup.
bro,
There's tofu cubes in there.
dude,
Take them down.
That's my only like exposure to tofu, and I
Right.
really, really rock with it, man.
Right.
That's
It just depends on what it's flavored with,
Yeah.
how it's made.
I mean, it's cool if you want to be a vegan. Obviously, people who are preachy about it and that say it's the best.
Yeah, they're
it's
annoying.
like anything else. It's like, it may be the best for you, but not the best for somebody else.
Yeah.
it definitely has my attention. I just know for a fact there's no way I'd be able to be one.
I would say it's expensive though.
It's
Very expensive
yeah,
lifestyle.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah, that's so. Listen, if you go to a grocery store and they have the protein mix and then the soy protein mix,
It's so
that
expensive.
soy protein mix will be like $60.
Yeah.
And the regular one is just like nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe like 20.
Right.
So, I don't know. That whole adage that it's more expensive to live healthy. Maybe that's true. You know, maybe that's true. Me, I like the Japanese approach to eating, dude. They just have the raw materials. Like
Yeah.
shabu shabu is a style of eating in Japan where you just have a hot pot. You have a bunch of just uncooked meat. You have your vegetables. You throw the vegetables in the pot. You stab the uncooked meat. You stir it around the pot for like 30 seconds. When you take it out, it's cooked and you eat it. I like the bare essentials where like you're making your own food, man. Kind of
Right.
like Breath of the Wild type cooking. That's
Average
how I
game.
do it, man.
Average game.
Average game.
Yeah.
What do you play, bro? Are you a sports game guy?
Just FIFA.
Okay.
That's the only one I play.
Yeah, you play soccer.
Yeah, cause I played soccer. But I mean, like the games that I really liked to play recently was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Bro,
Yeah, that was like
You love that one.
that's here.
Horizon.
I have the complete edition right over there in that pile.
After I played it, I think that might be one of my favorite games I've ever played.
It's
Yeah.
the best game I've ever played on PS4, but I might have to take that back because Kingdom Hearts is pretty awesome
Yeah.
right now. But
What about God of War, the newest one?
God of War was obviously like incredible. It's like a
Yeah.
movie.
I need to. Literally, everyone's like, "Have you played it yet?"
Yeah.
Bro,
It's so good.
that
It's so
has
good.
that has to be like another groundbreaking achievement in
Dude,
storytelling.
it was.
for
I was
video
just gonna
games.
say it was like touching.
Bro, I haven't
Yeah.
beat any of the other ones though.
You're cool. It's
Nah,
it's
it
fine.
doesn't even matter.
It's
Okay.
fine.
Doesn't even matter.
It's like a soft reboot, also a sequel. Man, that game was just the interaction. Like it's relatable. Father son.
Yeah.
The father is a hard ass. The kid,
Yeah,
exuberant with life, and just gets hit with reality.
yeah.
And
Big
that
time.
game, man, that's a doozy.
It's visually beautiful. It's great storytelling.
Yeah.
It's just everything that you need. And then if you're a fan of the franchise, it's just a bonus.
All right, sick. Yeah.
And one of your favorite RPGs is Ex Machina, right? Deus Ex. I said.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
wrong
you
game.
Deus Ex. Yeah. So I
Deus
mean,
Ex,
well,
man.
so my favorite game ever, and I think it's only because it was the first game I was introduced to. When I used to play games, I was all sports games or Call of Duty, and my cousin is a big time gamer, and he introduced me to like RPGs. And in the Xbox 360 days, early days, he had Fallout 3 with all the DLC packs.
Nice.
And he was like, "All right, like you should play this. Like it's a good game."
Mhm.
And I played it, and I fell in love with RPGs, and like that's my favorite game.
Everyone loves Fallout, man.
Dude.
Fallout 3 was that was the one for PlayStation 3, right?
76 is
It was for
kinda
PlayStation
busted.
3 and
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Xbox
I
360.
remember. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Played New Vegas, loved it. Fallout 4, loved it. I have 76. I haven't put much time into it yet, just because, very honestly, I have a really terrible internet connection, which you need.
Well, what do you think of it? Because that game is being just bashed.
Oh, it's
by
getting
everyone.
it's getting crushed. Well, I don't think that they should have went with the wholly online approach.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I think that it just me being such a big fan of the
You
franchise.
just like it anyway.
I like it because it's a story driven RPG, and
Yeah.
when you add the online element or only online element, it becomes an online game and not
Yeah.
a story game.
Right.
That's why I was with Sonic, man, because I was such a big Sonic fan that I was like, this game is all right. This game is good. And then it got to a point where I was like, this game is awful. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even. Like,
Yeah.
now Sonic's has a big rebound. But seriously, from the time I was little till now, like, I think I bought maybe close to every Sonic game just because it's so nostalgic for me. And I had nostalgia blinders on for some of the
Right.
games. I'm like, geez, this is awful. This is tough
Like
to
the
play.
game that I sent you the other day,
Which one?
on Instagram, the video, Sonic was a PlayStation 2 or GameCube game, the intro.
Oh, Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, man.
It's not a great game.
And when you go back and play it, you're like, ooh. Like, I was definitely younger
Yeah.
when I played this.
Right.
It's hard to play it
They
now.
said the nostalgia blinders,
Yeah,
they
man.
can block
Do you see
out
they're
a lot.
making a Sonic movie?
Yeah, they're making a Sonic movie,
Looks
and I
weird.
just think
It does look
it's
weird.
Funny.
Yeah.
Looks weird.
It's gonna be great, I'm sure. But if Jim Carrey's in it, then I trust that at least it's going to be hilarious.
It's a good person to have
Right.
associated with.
Oh,
your film.
as the villain too,
Yeah.
like Ben Schwartz is going to be Sonic the Hedgehog.
Is he going to
which I
be
think is so interesting.
Mr. Egg, whatever the hell is
Dr. Eggman? Yeah.
Dr. Eggman, yeah.
Ben Schwartz also plays the new Donatello in Ninja Turtles. He's going to be
Oh,
Sonic,
nice.
and I think it's going to be a cool cast. Did you see? He talked about it at the Golden Globes.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so it's hilarious, man. You need
Jim
to watch
Carrey?
this. Yes, you need to watch this clip. So, who's the guy, the Lonely Island singer? What's his name?
Andy
Samberg.
Yeah.
All right, so he's up on stage and he goes, "We have Jim Carrey in the house tonight." Everybody applauds, and he goes, "But you're here at the ceremony tonight because of the TV show you're in, which is like Mr. Rogers' TV show.
Right,
What's
right.
it called? You know?"
I don't know.
Isn't it? It's
Okay.
called like Friendly or something, or
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, but anyways, they're like, "You're here because you're getting a television award tonight. You're not here for a movie award." And he's like, "You're sitting in the movie section." Of course, it's all
Right.
like scripted. And
Right,
Jim
right.
Carrey's like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you to go back to the TV section." He's like, "I don't mean to embarrass you."
Right.
And so security comes over to like escort Jim Carrey to the TV section. He goes, "You know, I shot a movie this year." He's like, "It's called Sonic the Hedgehog." And everybody starts laughing.
Yeah.
And Andy Samberg's like, "Well, I'm sure next year it'll probably win something, and you'll be back here again."
That's actually
Yeah.
funny. That's
so
actually
they
funny.
they literally very self-deprecatingly shot
Right.
back at Sonic the Hedgehog. So obviously it's a big part of my childhood, a pretty big part of my life. That meme right there was made by Sped a Comedy because he knows I like Sonic.
Yeah.
Do you know the
But
way?
That's
yeah,
good.
it'll be funny, man. But I'm just ready for like the 12-year-old online nerds to be like, "That's not how Sonic looks. Sonic has blue arms." Like,
Yeah.
dude, relax, man.
Right.
People get so crazy.
Right.
Same thing with Star Wars, man. I know people worship Star Wars, but like when
He's a Star Wars guy,
you
right?
a big
Or
Star Wars guy?
Yeah, no,
Star Trek.
I do love Star Wars just because.
I'm not about to judge you. I'm just saying, what did you think about the new movies then?
like which ones. Which ones do you mean?
I'm talking about 7, 8.
I mean, I liked them specifically just because I'm a fan of the franchise. I know the first one, which I guess was 7,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
basically just a retelling of what 4,
Yeah.
in like updated fashion.
Mhm.
But I just like the franchise so much
Yeah.
that I think I might have even said to Sheldon, I was like, this could be the worst movie ever, and I'm still gonna love it, just because I
Just
love
'cause it's
I
back,
love the
yeah.
world. I mean,
That's
I
how
just
I
love
am
the
with-
world of it.
That's how I am with anything made by Square Enix, honestly.
Yeah.
It's getting to that point. Anything that Square Enix makes, I'm like, you won't hear me say a bad word.
Yeah, man. We all have obviously a propensity to the stuff we love, but I think that the new Star Wars movies.
You didn't like 8, right? Or
So
was that
are you
me?
talking about
loved
the
it.
episodes, or are we talking about like the Rogue One, Solo, and
I
then
love those two.
What the fuck's the other? Is
All right,
there
so
another one?
I was talking
That's
about
one too.
the episodes, but how do you
Okay,
feel
yeah.
about those? I thought the Han Solo movie was like average, man.
It was okay. It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Rogue One, I really liked Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked Rogue One.
Yeah.
We're going sick.
Yeah, I like how they're doing these little side stories, but there's a part in the Han Solo movie where they're about to do that trade-off with that diamond or whatever that guy wanted, and the villain of the movie, I don't even remember his name, he asks for the diamond. He's like, "Give me the diamond." And the guy's like, "Well, like, we don't have it, blah, blah, blah." He's giving this explanation, and then he goes, "I never ask anything twice." And I was like, I'm going to say that from now on. Like, I actually said that in the theater
Yeah.
to the person I was with. I was like, "Yo, I'm saying that from now on."
Right.
Now,
I'll
I just,
never
like,
ask
it's
anything
hilarious.
twice.
Like, you ask somebody for something, like, "Yo, could you pass that?" And you don't even repeat yourself. They're like, "Huh? I never ask anything twice." They're like, "What? What did you just say?"
That's like, who
Bro,
are
we
you?
about to
That's crazy.
fight? Yeah, that movie was cool, though, man. I think it's interesting that they gave Han Solo a backstory, but I also think that it was a bit predictable. Like, I knew when, as soon as we saw that masked bandit, you know, the one with like her mask like
Yes.
screams.
Yeah.
I knew that as soon as she took the mask off, one, she was gonna be a girl. That's a classic thing.
That
And
is a
then-
classic
And then
thing.
2, she was gonna end up being a good guy.
A good guy,
Like,
yeah.
so like, you know, there's this. Here's the pattern with Star Wars. It's the reveals. All the twists are identity. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, Ben is actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. Whoa,
Yeah.
Darth Vader's actually
Is the-
Anakin.
yeah.
Whoa, Anakin's actually Luke's dad.
That's a good
All
point.
the twists.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
saying
a
that's
good point.
bad.
Yeah.
But every Star Wars twist is an identity thing.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, you're actually this person, but I thought you were this person.
Right.
And it's, you know,
Yeah.
that's the only thing in Star Wars that's jarring to me, but the rest is awesome. I love Star Wars, man.
Well, I mean, it's just and like you kind of alluded to with they're doing all these like little side movies now.
Mhm.
Why would they not?
Yeah,
it's a
that could
cash
be
cow.
a theoretically infinite
Oh, yeah.
universe of movies that
Yeah.
you could go into. Obviously, they're not going to
Yeah.
because they don't want to saturate the market. But
Because they also own they own like every IP right now. Disney.
yeah,
Yeah, man. If
own
you have Marvel
everything.
and Star Wars, like what else?
There's no competition.
Could you imagine if they bought the anime industry? How crazy that would be! Like if they bought Toei or something like that.
Still waiting for a Kingdom Hearts show.
That'd be. Nah, I mean, there's. I
Maybe
was thinking
not.
about that
Not so
today.
big.
I was thinking about how sick I'd be to my stomach if they made a Kingdom Hearts like live action movie. It'd be the same thing as making a One Piece live action movie. How do you condense a story that's so crazy and out there to a 2-hour film? You can't.
There have to be sequels.
Right.
There
Or
has to be.
you do it like just for fun, just to show that you can make a movie. Like the Attack on Titan live action
That'd be a
movie.
flex by Disney if they just like.
what about a TV show though? I mean, would that work in TV format?
I think it would definitely work better
Right.
in TV format, but the problem is the budget has to be there.
Yeah.
Like it has to be there because there's so much,
To me, there's just no point in making a TV show after a video game, man.
and it's too outlandish. Just people just jumping, flying all over the place.
Bro.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, fuck. We were just talking about Star Wars, and that's not outlandish.
No, no, it is, but like
I think
I think Kingdom Hearts is far more outlandish than Star
I
Wars.
always say that Kingdom Hearts relies very much on the medium that it's in to tell its story. Meaning
Yeah.
that the video game way of
the
progression
best
to the
way to
story
do
is
it.
the best way to do it. Star Wars is a movie, and I think Clone Wars the series is awesome.
Yeah.
I think the comic books are awesome. I haven't read them.
I haven't.
I've
Yeah,
dabbled.
but the problem with
and they're pretty
American
dope. But the Star Wars movies are, dude. When they put Clone Wars back in theater again, I'm not sure if you remember,
I
but
don't.
they did. So what they were trying to do is they were trying to do the original run of 1, 2, and 3. They were gonna re-release them in theaters, and every time they did it, they were gonna do it in 3D. So they re-released Phantom Menace in 3D,
right.
and I went with a few of my friends. You might have been with me actually. This is a
I don't know.
long time ago. We
I'm
walked
not
in. I'll
sure.
never forget. It was like 2010, 2011. There was a woman there in the middle seat, and she had around her memorabilia from the movie. She had an Anakin doll. She had the little model race car thing that he drives in. It was all around her, like stuff on her shoulder, and she was in the middle seat. So I asked her, I was like, "Oh, are you a big fan of the movie?" Like just in passing, because we were gonna sit in the row above her, and she goes, "I've been here all day. I came when the theater opened,
What
and I've
the
stayed in this theater
bro?
and watched it every single time." And I was like,
That's
well.
wild.
And it was just our group of friends and her in the movie theater.
Right.
I literally was like, dude, that's how much people love Star Wars,
Yeah.
bro. Like people love Star
No, it's
Wars.
Dude,
interesting.
fuck Star
So
Wars so
Natalia never seen a Star Wars film, right?
That's wild.
Prior to
That's
me and
wild.
her getting together.
Oh,
So
okay.
her first one that she saw was Rogue One. So I took her to see Rogue One. She loved it.
No doubt.
Took her to see. I don't know if 7 was before or after that, but I think we watched 7. She
7 was before. It was 7, Rogue One, 8,
Han
Solo.
Solo. All right,
Yeah.
so I then introduced her 7. She enjoyed it.
Mhm.
She liked 8, and I think she liked or loved Han Solo. So I was like, all right, we can go back and rewatch 1 through 6. We started with the Jesus Christ.
Phantom Menace.
Thank you. We
Yeah.
started with that, dude. I was like, wow, I didn't realize how bad this movie was.
Yeah.
Dude, when you go back and
She
watch
was
the
like,
prequels-
she's like, people like this. I'm like, we didn't
That's
finish it.
embarrassing.
We didn't finish it. We got to like an hour
That's
and 10
embarrassing.
minutes in. Once they
Yeah.
meet, like, I don't know if that's when they met Anakin, but she's watching it and I'm watching. I'm like,
Oh, so
Oh.
you guys even make it to Jar Jar Binks.
no.
That's hard to
We
watch.
made it to
That's-
Jar Jar
yeah, that's
Binks,
it.
and she was like, ew. She's like, what is that? I'm like, and I'm like watching. I'm like, yo, this is actually really bad.
Yeah.
It's
I remember when
bad.
I was a kid, I loved them.
Yeah.
Well, they got shit on though, even when they
Came
when
out.
they came out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
that wasn't even a. It's not like it's a new thing.
People were
Right.
mad.
Yeah.
Like this retconning is terrible.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
like,
remember that.
That movie is only like saved. I don't even know if it's saved by the last 20 minutes
Oh yeah.
with Qui-Gon
With
and
Mace-
Obi-Wan
yeah,
versus
with Qui-Gon
Darth
Jinn and
Maul.
Darth Maul,
That was a.
dude.
I will actually say I think that probably is what saved it because that
Yeah.
was an all-time
Yeah.
like
It's
fight.
one of the best.
Dude, that part where he gets cut in half is still burned to my
Yeah.
mind. Like as a
Yeah.
child,
Just
I-
falling
and the
down
noise
to
he
the
makes.
center.
He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, bro, where half his torso is just
Yeah.
falling down that pit. Like as
Yeah.
a kid, I was like, this is crazy.
Right.
I've never seen anything like
Right.
this before. This is nuts.
Right. And
So
he's
I still
back.
remember that. But yeah, that's tough. It's tough, man, when you're with a girl and you're watching a movie and you just know the girl's not feeling it.
Yeah.
You're like,
Right.
Because
Because
always like, what do
especially
you
when
wanna
it's
watch?
revered too.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just like, wow, this really ain't it.
yeah, and you start to think that you're like,
yeah, you think you're doing something. You're like, oh, you're gonna love this, babe.
Yeah.
You're just like, I picked out that
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
You gotta be honest about
No,
it.
but
What
the
you gotta
thing
do is
is-
stop it. You gotta be like, all right, we can watch something else.
The
Yeah.
thing is, dude, that was the first time I watched it in like
yeah. Years. I
10
got you.
years. So we're watching. I'm like, whoa.
You know what though?
This is actually
Episode
pretty
2,
bad.
not that bad. Episode
It's
2,
not that bad, but then Revenge. I love Revenge of the Sith.
you do.
I love that film. Even though the Yoda versus Sidious scene was kind of corny, but Anakin versus Obi-Wan, that's lit.
In the lava.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool. That was cool.
Me and my brother were watching that and laughing because we were like, dude, why aren't they like trying to hurt each other? Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
actually like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
spinning around.
Oh, when they were missing, they were just like.
I was like, bro, could you imagine like watching this fight like from a wide shot, like you're like back and you just see these dudes like spinning? You're like,
Right.
are
They're
they
like
trying to
dan-
hurt each other?
They're like
Right.
dancing practically.
Yeah, when you watch it now, it's like I don't know. When you're more jaded, it's hard to watch it. But I like Revenge of the Sith. I like the design for General Grievous. My favorite thing about that movie though was just like it wasn't afraid to get like really really bad, like to show
Yeah.
you like what actually happened.
It's just super CG.
Yeah. Oh God.
Super.
Nowadays, it's like an eyesore.
Yeah.
But if they made that movie today,
Mm-hmm.
wow,
Show would be lit.
man. It would be lit.
Big time.
So who knows, dude? We may live long enough to see the Star Wars prequels get
Get remade.
Wow.
I would just want one remade. 2 and 3, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
One just has
Yeah,
to
but
be.
don't you think that they would probably do
They
4,
would-
5, 6 remake
I
if
think
they were to
so.
do a remake before 1, 2, and 3, just because of the I mean
The
it's
canon
a 30
and how
like
it was-
30-year gap or
I
20-year
think
gap
so.
or
But
something.
the thing is, those aged pretty well. Like besides 4,
I think they aged
I
well.
can watch 5 and
They
6
aged
today.
terrifically as a
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
but in terms of the effects, obviously
right, of
not. I
course.
The
mean,
effects, no,
yeah.
but the charm is there.
Yeah,
There's something
for
about
sure.
those old movies when you watch it and like how authentic the acting is. Like it's
Yeah.
good. It's the people that make it. Have you guys ever done a May 4th marathon where on
May the
on
4th
May
be with
4th
you?
you just watch every single one?
I don't think
I
so.
haven't done it actually on May 4th, but I
Okay.
have done the watch through. Yeah.
In one day, all the Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Remember,
Yeah.
we did in preparation for The Hobbit coming out. We did all 3 Lord of the Rings. Remember, we were at Aunt's house.
Oh yeah, you were
That
with
was
me.
that was
That's
a
like
long.
a 10-hour commitment. Bro.
I wanted
It
to
might have been
kill
more.
myself.
Yeah.
That
Might
was
have
the
been more.
fir-
That was
was
the
the
longest
first
day of my
time I've
life.
ever seen any of them.
Oh really?
And bro, I was like, dude, this is ridiculous.
Did you
'cause,
like
dude-
them though? Or?
No.
Oh
Dude,
really? Oh
you know
shit!
why,
Well,
dude?
that was a long day.
The
then for
Fellowship of the Ring is hard to get through.
It is so
Because
hard.
there's not that much action
Yeah.
and it's a lot of
They're
dialogue,
talking, dude.
which I can appreciate now. I
just
appreciate
talking.
that now
Yeah.
more. But like at that time, we were in high school.
Bro.
Yeah, you just want to see some wild
Oh
shit
my
happen.
god! And then
some
so
orcs
that
fighting
movie
and
was 3 hours. Then the next one was 3.5, and the last one's like 4 hours. So we're sitting there in his basement on like the floor, just watching
chilling
it.
and
And we're just
watching
like,
these.
oh, this is a long
I
day.
felt dead after I saw those.
I felt horrible.
It was terrible.
I felt terrible.
When I was a kid, we had what was that one? That movie that you just mentioned?
Lord of the Rings,
No.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Fellowship of the Ring.
The Hobbit?
I was over at my friend's house, dude. This must have been when I was 11, and it was just on in the background.
Yeah.
Dude, there was so much talking in it that my friend like called a pizza place. This is such a dumb kid thing to do, and like put the volume up really loud, and the guy was like, "Hello," and he just like put the volume up to the speaker.
That's funny.
And just like the guy was talking like Lord of the Rings, and but because it was so loud, he was
Right.
trying to understand what he was saying. Like he
Yeah.
was actually making orders. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hold on, can you say that again?" We just got such a kick out of it.
That's
We're like,
right,
"Dude,
right.
he's listening to the movie."
Right.
Like, we were so dumb. But yeah,
Frank-
there was so
yeah.
much talking
Dumb
in that
kids
movie.
shit.
I was 12 and I
great.
was literally like, "Dude, I heard there's supposed to be sword fighting in this movie. Like
Right.
there's elves. Why? What are they talking about? Why are they talking?"
Bro, Fellowship of the Ring is just hard to sit through.
Dude,
It's all
I'm-
set up.
here's my thing, man. I can't do the fantasy stuff. That's why I can't do Game of Thrones. I can't do it.
Oh.
I can't do it, man. I know people say it's awesome. It's amazing. It's life changing. The last season's coming out after the Super Bowl.
2 months.
I'm not with it, man. I can't do it.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's it.
it's you're in a very few camp, but it's good.
I watched like one episode, bro, when there was like dragons on the ice and stuff,
Right.
and I was like, okay, this must be the peak because there's dragons in it.
Right.
There's obviously no better episode than this,
Mhm.
and I was like, nah, still, I'm not feeling it. But that's
There is a lot of down moments in the show,
I-
but like even the down moments, like the dialogue's just. It could also be because it's hidden by accents.
maybe.
You know.
Maybe.
It's good because I don't know, Lord of the Rings might have had accents too.
I think so.
But you have Orlando Bloom just like talking normally, but talking elf. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's parts of Lord of the
Elven.
Rings, like when those ghost pirates came out, I was like, all right, what is this?
Oh, I forgot about that.
He's
That
like-
was in Return of the King.
I said, all right, man.
You see him charge against a tree, and then he
yeah,
just like,
there's all these
that was
invisible
corny.
people. I was like, dude, what
That
is
was
going
corny.
on, man?
That was corny. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm also biased, man. I'm very much. People tell me to try new things, and I don't do it.
Right.
The one thing I did try recently was Maniac, though, and I was like, this rocks hard.
Right.
Like, I love Maniac.
Right.
So, what about? Why are you pointing at him?
He doesn't try anything new.
No,
Like,
because we always tell each other, whether it be music or TV shows or movies or stuff, and
Yo,
pretty
watch
much
this.
both of us like never do.
No,
We
man,
just don't do it. And like
listen.
I sent him a meme the other day. It was like something about that, about how
Right.
like that doesn't happen.
Bro, I think
You
I
probably saw it,
dude.
yeah.
Okay, so is it the one
Yeah.
with the caption is when your friend tells you to try a new Netflix show,
Yes.
and it's the lady eating the vegetables?
Yeah,
She's like,
that's it.
dude, I
That's it.
bookmarked that on
Yeah.
Instagram because I relate to that so much.
Yeah, I
man.
sent it to him and he was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
bro, that's you to a T."
I can't watch anything that's over soundtracked. I don't like murder mysteries. I don't like it when everybody like looks super clean and stuff like that. I like more realistic dramas.
So
where
what are you
there's not a lot
watching
of
now?
music.
What do you like now?
Dude, Maniac is that. Like Maniac is so good. And then what else on Netflix am I watching? I've been talking about this for years, but Better Call Saul. It's so
So good.
dude, thank
I'm
you.
all-
So good.
Thank you.
I remember because I told him about it too because I obviously am
tried,
a
I
huge
couldn't
Breaking
get
Bad
into
fan.
it.
I think that it's on par with Breaking Bad. I will die on that hill.
Are you up to speed?
No, I haven't watched the most recent season. I haven't watched the
Seriously?
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't get
you're
into
totally
it.
right though.
I think it is on par with Breaking Bad for sure.
People are saying it's better. And I want to wait to hear your opinion on that till you finish this season. 'Cause
Yeah.
This season is the best.
I wouldn't
by far.
I wouldn't like I think that would be an easy argument to make to say that it's better. For sure.
Dude, it's fantastic. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm into, man. Like I can't watch one thing I refuse to watch is American Horror Story. People get so
Yeah,
hyped
I'm
about
not-
it.
It was so good, and then it just like fell off.
What
man.
season was good though?
1, 3, 4, and then there's a couple more that I didn't really see. But yeah, 1 was so good, 3 was so good, 4 was good, and then because it's an anthology show,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of anthologies.
Mm-hmm.
I love True Detective. Trying to think of another one. I can't even think of another show. Black Mirror. It's another
Black
one.
Mirror is the best.
Um,
I recently did Bandersnatch. Did you guys do that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
crazy. Did you guys get the Netflix option?
Yeah.
You talked to
yeah.
them as Netflix?
Real
Yeah.
meta.
Yo, that was
Yeah.
meta, but like I played it with my brother and he didn't get that option. So there's like a
Really?
million different ways.
Yeah,
to
there's
do
a
it.
there's a ton of different ways.
Dude, I got my whole progression like erased because I chose like a bad ending,
yeah.
and I was so tight. I'm like, dude, I'm not going through this again.
Right.
So I just need one day to like.
You got me. No, it's
I
a
have
time
like
commitment for
the
sure.
last. I have like I know it's like 30 minutes remaining, but I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Dude, did we talk about this? That my friend printed out like the
The timeline.
yeah.
No.
Like the options, like the tree.
I have it
Dude,
saved
he
on.
printed
I
out
have
the
it saved
whole-
on
he sent
Reddit.
it to
Really?
me. So like, if you ever want to navigate to a specific outcome, like I have like the picture. It's pretty cool. But Sheldon, if you made a wrong decision and you made it end early, it brings you up to speed really fast. Like
No, not this time. It made me restart the whole.
Because
thing.
yeah, it'll do like an annotated
Yeah.
version of
Yeah, I
getting
know.
back to
I know that. But then I was like, so what happened was I picked a bad end,
yeah.
and the credits started rolling. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was like, relax.
So I mean that
I was like,
doesn't
relax.
mean that it's a bad end. It just means it's an end.
And end, right? So I was like, okay, let me reboot this. Started from scratch, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, I don't wanna
Well, yeah, I
I
mean,
was
yeah.
like,
if the
I
credit-
gotta
if
get
the-
back to this.
If the credits started rolling, that means
Right.
that was just the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And it was what end was it when he killed his dad? I didn't want it to go that direction. It just it literally went that way, and I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? And I didn't get to choose on something, and it chose it, and I was like, shit. So I didn't get to redeem myself.
Okay. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's
I already probably know how it ends. I have it saved on Reddit. I just haven't
no
opened it.
the defeated way that you just said that
Yeah.
makes me not want to spoil
Yeah.
it for you at all. There's still hope for you, but
Yeah, this like I said, I had like maybe 30 minutes left.
there's a quote
And then I
unquote
just
happy ending is what I'm referring to.
Right.
That's like
Yeah.
kind of not that
And
happy.
you get the 5 stars out of 5.
and it's
whatever.
like it's pretty.
Satisfying.
It's interesting. I'd like to hear your take on it. But yeah, Black Mirror is changing the game, and that's probably the show that we've talked about most on this podcast.
We talk about a lot on here,
dude. It's just I don't know. It's cool.
It's just incredible. It's incredible writing. And it's
fire.
It's very up to date. It's current with everything that they're doing. So,
which is crazy because the show was canceled, and then Netflix picked it up and brought it back.
That's how Futurama was. That's how
Arrested Development.
Yeah, Arrested Development was, man. It's fans ask for it. It comes back.
Shameless too. I think Shameless was canceled at one point.
Yeah,
I think, and
really?
they brought it back. I think. I'm not sure.
Damn, Shameless is about the drug selling, right? This guy sells weed or something.
No. I mean, it's definitely like that's part of the show, but it's about a family that is like basically
dysfunctional.
Their dad is like just a degenerate. So like, and it's a huge family. There's like 7 of them or something.
Okay.
And it's like about their life of being like these like low life people, low life family in Chicago.
Just like crazy people.
Yeah.
Just like low class.
Okay.
Yeah, like very low class. Like the one oldest sibling like works all these jobs to like pay for everything, like to keep the family afloat, while the dad is like blowing all the money down at the bar, like alcoholic.
Yeah.
The kids they're like 12 years old, like getting into bad shit.
What's the guy in it? Who's the main? Who plays Frank?
William H. Macy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a popular one. I might check that out.
Really popular.
It is really popular.
And I watched it, except for I didn't watch it last season because it fell off for me, I think. But
I don't think it's as good as everyone says it is.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, but it's like how you said with Game of Thrones, like people are just revering it, and it's like I don't understand it. Like Shameless, I watched like the first couple seasons, I guess, and I was just like,
you can relate to.
I don't think it's like that funny because everyone's like, oh, it's hilarious, and like the situation. And I'm like,
is it supposed to be funny?
It's like a
dark comedy.
Yeah, I would say a dramedy or something maybe.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be like tragic.
No,
I mean
part of it is. Yeah, part
tragedy.
of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm trying to think what else.
I gotta watch
Sex Education's a good watch. That's a funny show.
Yeah, I'm about to wrap that up on Netflix. It's actually pretty good.
Is it a documentary?
It's a British com.
It's almost in like the Skins vein.
Yeah, if you ever watch Skins.
I don't usually do well with British comedy, but if you
accent's too much for you.
If you guys both recommend it, British comedy just doesn't really have an effect on me. If you guys both recommend it, I'll check it out. I want to check out Life After Porn. Did you guys see that?
I have watched. I watched all 3 documentaries.
There's 3 of them?
3 of them.
I want to see that and Fire. But before we get to Fire.
Fire's, yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
Dude, my roommate was telling me about it all last night.
I don't think I know about Fire.
Fire is
Well, you know about the Fire Festival, right?
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
so they made a documentary that just goes deep.
They did 2. Hulu did one.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hulu did one, and then Netflix did one. I've not seen the Hulu one, but I have seen the Netflix one. Basically, what the difference is that Hulu got the rights to the interview with the actual dude. So that one apparently goes into basically like his mind, like it's from his point of view, like going into how
he thought it was
insane this fucking dude is.
Right.
And then the Netflix one goes into the rest of it. So that's the main difference. But the Netflix one, if you've seen it, is so good.
I have to watch it.
And it's so crazy.
Yeah, I heard it was nuts. I'm trying to check that out ASAP.
But what were you saying?
Life After Porn, was it good?
Life After Porn 3 is my favorite one.
3?
Yeah.
I didn't know they made 3.
Or
Me neither.
Saw the first one.
After Porn Ends, I think that's what it's called.
Because I've always thought about that.
I think it's fascinating.
I think everybody has if
you've
watched porn.
Like you have to give your life away.
There's a lot of people on there that give like just like deep dives into like their life. And like I find like people of color who work in porn, their stories more fascinating because porn is the only occupation where racism is allowed. Like
yeah.
Because like white women will get paid double to work with black talent compared to white guys.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's why I find it interesting.
That's
when
so
I
crazy.
see the black guys work. They use taglines and like.
But
so if it's like a Hispanic woman and if it's a white woman, Hispanic male, it just says couple, stuff like that. If it's a black guy, it's always interracial. It's always interracial.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It is. It's interesting, and they talk about it. And this one guy said, "You got like they use like certain taglines like power, you're beast, like you're strong, like dominate her, like stuff like that." I found it interesting, like on the one
to describe black people,
black talent in porn,
Whoa.
like certain words.
The Hot Girls Wanted thing that
that
does
guy.
the Tinder type, the social media.
Mhm.
One of the episodes is actually also about that,
Yeah.
about what he's talking
Did
about.
you watch that?
I
one?
did, yeah, I did.
And you're just like, oh, like that's it. It's really interesting.
Wow.
And so after porn ends, when they have like black talent on there, I tend to watch those more because I feel like open racism in the porn industry is like, that's just insane because that is the only job that will allow that.
And that's the biggest industry ever. They said that
Yeah.
porn is bigger than like almost all the sports combined.
I think they said it's like a $6.3 billion industry or something like that.
I
Maybe more.
wouldn't be surprised if it's even more.
Yeah.
Just people are giving away their life to essentially never work again.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a couple. This one, Bonnie Rotten. We talked about Bonnie Rotten. She's on the newest one.
Oh, she's on. Oh,
Yeah.
should she not do porn
She's
anymore?
back in it again though.
That's fine.
She said at the end, she's like, I might do it, I might not do it. I just don't want it because she had a kid,
Mhm.
and her story was like interesting, like how she got into it, and like when they tell how they got into it and how they got out of it, I'm like, all right, that's
I feel like
interesting stories.
and this might just be like a little bit ignorant,
Right.
in terms of like ignorant of not knowing.
Right.
But like I feel like most porn backstories are probably like pretty similar.
I feel like it's got to be abuse, right?
Yeah, it's
you
gotta be
suffer- you
abuse
suffer
of some
abuse
sort.
when you're young,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's just like your whole mentality on what sex is messed up in a
Mhm.
way,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you just kind of do that. Not that you're crazy, but like
It's massive in Florida. Porn industry is massive.
Like
in
people
Florida.
people being
You can
from Florida.
find from Florida and also working in Florida
Mm.
as well as working in California.
dang.
California makes sense. Yeah.
California makes sense. Yeah.
But it's like weird because those are like the two hotbeds. Like everywhere else is kind of like
Yeah, you're not
as
gonna be
big.
like in Vermont, like,
Right.
just making porn.
which
Yeah,
is
it's crazy.
which backtrack. There's a good show on Vice. I forget the name of it. It's Sex something about this girl. She travels around the country, goes to different shops and different people, and they tell about like sex stories and like what they have. And for some reason, I just found I'm like, how has no mainstream market like picked up like that yet, like the adult industry? Because dude, I think it's fascinating, like just the information.
Because it's still taboo to a certain extent. Like you don't.
But is it? Because it's like.
To a certain extent, yeah. Nobody really wants to talk about like their porn habits.
Also,
think how close to the line HBO and other shows like that.
I have another take on it. I feel like if something like after porn gets really mainstream,
right.
it's gonna hurt the sales of porn.
Because they see like the real side
They see the
behind
reality
it.
of
Yeah.
it, and people are just like, "Oh snap!"
Yeah, but I don't
this
know
is deep.
because
like you just said the racism thing.
right.
But I never
But think
even
about
thought
this.
about that before.
But think about this: like the act of porn, it breaks you down to your most, your like most
It's like your primal nature.
primal nature, like
right.
masturbation. It breaks you down to that point. So it's like no matter what, people are gonna break down to their primal
You would
instinct.
think so, but then if you put a banner over it like "This is racist," you'd be surprised at how many people would fight against that.
I feel like porn might be the one that just wouldn't. I feel like it surpasses that because it deals with pleasure.
But I also think too with the racism thing
Right.
that the racism is actually not a terrible thing because it actually makes a black actor
yeah,
more desirable.
yeah,
like
and
it
they
actually
and
helps,
they know
it helps
and
them.
yeah, it helps them because they know. But they say it's weird, but it gets them far.
Yeah.
I would definitely say it'd probably be weird because would you be comfortable marketing yourself as that?
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
But I
But
also
at the same time, if you're trying to get far in your
I
job,
would say if you're in that position, like you,
Again,
if you're already there, you know.
yeah.
I don't want to speak ignorance either, man. I have no idea what that's all
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, I highly recommend watch Hot Girls Wanted. I think it's like episode 4 or 5.
Bro, I love when you quote like an episode. Like, how do you remember
No,
this
'cause
stuff, man?
Because I
It's
remember
Rashida Jones too. She's a
Yeah.
producer on
I
it.
love her.
Yeah, she's
because
awesome.
I remember episode 6 is the one I refused to watch because in the title it says after recording her friend getting raped on Periscope.
Yeah,
This girl talks about it. I'm like, I'm not watching that.
That's a wrap for me.
Mhm.
And I know that's the last episode, and that was episode 6. So I just remember
Ugh.
that 5 or
Gross,
4
man. What the heck?
was the one with the black guy in it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Even giving some, I remember when you told me about that too. Like even giving that a platform is just, I think that is,
I was like, that's ridiculous.
yeah.
Dude, there's some people that don't understand the difference between like shock and entertainment. They just think like if it's crazy, it should be entertainment. I mean,
Right.
I don't know, man.
You know, so maybe you have the power to edit stuff out, right?
I have the power to edit anything.
Okay, I just wanted, so I just don't know where But have you seen that video that's been going around, or like heard of that video that's been going around about the girl with the dog?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
She's from this area.
Yeah.
Let me just raise my hand real quick, so that
Newtown.
when I watch the video, I know where to take this out if I need to.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. So I mean that's not like I'm not really gonna say anything wild. It's just like,
All right.
but you were talking about shock and entertainment. Like obviously that's not entertainment, but
Shock.
the reason it's gone viral
Right.
to a certain point is because of the shock value of it.
Yeah, man.
It's like what?
It's a good point.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a good point.
how is that even?
It has, as crazy as this is to say, it has a successful trajectory at being viral.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it went viral.
Yeah.
And that's money right there. Yeah, I don't know this person. All I know is that
The comment section on the video, they found out where she. I mean, people obviously knew
what
her.
happened? Was it like a snap that was supposed to go to someone else and just went to someone else?
I
by
don't
accident?
know.
Even
man.
still, I mean,
Even
that
still,
who-
that is
one is
wild.
Oh no,
like-
I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to find out how someone found something
Yeah.
like this.
That was when
Couldn't
I heard about it. We were talking about it at work, and I was like, I have like I have a tons of questions about it, but the
Yeah.
main ones are like, why did you record it? Or I guess
Right.
one is why did you do it,
Right.
but two, why did you record it? And then three, if you were recording it, that means that you were probably sending it to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Who or why?
Right.
That's my question. So it's like, was this person getting paid to make videos?
I don't know. She looked
It's a valid
She
question.
looked cracked out a little bit too.
Maybe.
like a little
You
whacked
know what I'm
out.
saying? Maybe this is like, I mean, it's animal abuse. I don't want to jump on this person too hard because I heard they committed suicide. I heard a whole bunch of rumors.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't
Damn,
want
I
to.
did not know that.
I don't want to go too deep
Did you
on
hear
it,
that?
but like,
I did hear that.
Shit.
yeah. So, but what happens when something like that gets out? I mean, you gotta change schools, change names. Like
Oh,
yeah,
your
you
life
gotta change
is
the life.
over.
again, like I'm not. What she did was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But what's the aftermath of that, bro? Like that's a serious fallout. So that's just a bad situation all around, man.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I don't know what to say on it, but it's interesting that you brought that up, man. It did go viral, and it's just like
And it went viral just purely off of just shock value.
what it
of
was.
Yeah.
People do that, man. Like there's bestiality is a thing, dude. I watched a documentary on like I had like a video thing going. Remember the TLC series they did where like the dude was in love with his car and stuff like that?
Yep.
Bro, there was one that was just like dudes
Oh,
that
yeah,
were like
that-
in love
yeah.
with horses and stuff, man. It was
That guy was killed. I remember this
Mr.
early on
Hands.
YouTube.
classic, man.
He
Mr.
was
Hands video.
killed
I never
having sex
watched
with a
it,
horse.
but that video is referenced
What?
all the
Yeah,
time.
he let the
I
horse.
haven't heard of that.
He let the horse have sex with
don't
him,
don't Google it, but
and it killed him.
I won't.
Mr. Hands. That's the name of the horse. That's a very reference to video on the internet. This dude straight up died.
Well, I mean, the horses just have like just some pieces on them.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Total miscalculation.
yeah.
Total
I mean, that's like a
miscalculation.
that probably was fucked up like his organs and shit.
Yeah.
It did a lot.
Yeah. That's death right there, man. This podcast it's been the craziest podcast we've ever
I want
done.
to just it's about horses but on a little bit of a lighter note.
Yeah.
And kind of about the porn thing, but you've heard about like they're called bronies.
Dude, you said
me use
that
the bathroom real
you,
quick.
you said that like I'm from another country, dude. I know the bronies.
Oh
I
no,
know,
well, okay, all right.
I know
okay.
the bronies well,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
I
you
know
want
the
to
bronies
explain? You
well.
want to elaborate on that?
Well, yeah, just because I'm deep in the nerd community and I go to like,
Yeah.
a lot of conventions
Yeah.
and stuff. I've seen plenty of bronies. I went to Kamea-Con. There was like Dragon Ball Z brony fans there, dude. So I know the type of typically weirdos. They're typically weirdos. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say all of them are
Yeah.
weirdos, but dudes that like My Little Pony that are over 20 years old. Yeah, I know who you're.
There's
talking
something. Yeah, there's something more going on there.
Well, the whole
But,
clapping
you know.
thing, man. That's the big thing behind it is that they feel like the ponies are attractive. But see, like, there's apparently, according to the internet, they're not all like that, right? So there's the people that like the My Little Pony porn, and then there's the people that are just fans of
Fans
My
of the
Little
show
Pony.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like it's just too easy to conflate one with the other, man.
Absolutely,
You know, it's
that's-
just like it's
yeah.
strange that you like that in general.
Yeah.
But I've met bronies before. They're reasonably cool, but if you have to be a fan of something and then you name yourself after that thing, it's weird.
It's a
man.
little weird.
It's
It's
a
a
little weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where you're going with that?
No, I mean it was just like we were talking about the horses and like and the porn thing, it's like in line with it, and like
Equestrian stuff is popular, man. When I went to Japan, this is a pretty crazy story. For the third time, I went to a bookstore and I was looking for independent manga or comics made not by big publishing houses. I was
Right.
looking for stuff that was made by maybe someone my age or independent comic artists, just to see what kind of stuff was out there in the Japanese market. And I found some really cool stuff. And I was going through and I realized that I was no longer in the typical comic section.
you went into the unlit
adult.
section back there. Yeah.
I was now in the adult manga section. And I found something that I never knew existed. It was called amputee porn. And I just looked at a cover of this thing, and it was just
Oh.
like
That's hot to
somebody with
walk into.
arms missing,
Yeah.
and I was just like, whoa. And I walked out of the bookstore. I was so freaked out. I was like, that's
Is
crazy.
this, you said in Japan, or is this
Yeah,
over here?
I was looking for some doshi manga, and I found one. There was one. It was a Dragon Ball manga, a fan manga that some kid did that got published, where instead of Goku coming to Earth, it was Vegeta. So it's the whole Dragon Ball story just with Vegeta on Earth. So I was like,
pretty
this
dope.
is pretty cool, yeah. And then
pretty
all of a
dope.
sudden, next thing I know, I'm in a porn section, and I see amputee manga porn, and I was like,
Well, there's like
what
a
the
rule,
heck is this?
like a rule of life or whatever. Like
Right.
if it exists, like there's a porn
Oh,
for
Rule
it.
Do you
54.
remember?
Yeah, there you
you
go.
go.
You
Do you
know what I'm
remember
talking
when freshman year in college, I think we were going from Chipotle, and we always passed the adult entertainment
about.
store.
Oh yeah. I
So
mean,
one day we're like,
yeah.
never been in one, let's check it out. So we're upstairs and we're just like, oh, this is pretty tame. It's just DVDs. And then the woman's like, there's a basement, and we're like, basement?
Oh snap!
That's where
So-
all the real deal stuff
Yeah.
was.
So as we're walking down,
Slash
there's
dungeon.
there's like a hanging, like latex like suit
Oh.
thing, and then there's like cases of like other suits, and then you see like the
you see
the
like
net- yeah,
the
the
fake
wild-
booties and the
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And
See, that stuff seems very serial killer to me. Like, how are you gonna
Yeah,
have
for
that in your
sure.
house?
Remember there's
For
a
sure.
she-male
How are you gonna
section?
have that in your house?
Bro, the she-male section, I was like, time to go.
Yeah.
I was like, time to
Pull
leave.
Ken Stars, man. Have a good night, Pa. I'm out. Have a good night, Ma.
We're like, oh,
That's it's weird, man. But these people exist, you know, and they're your professor. They're
they're everybody.
they're-
Yeah,
they're
it's
the
yeah.
guy
You're
that
so
takes
right.
your money at the
You're
toll
so right.
booth. You know what I'm saying? There's some dude that maybe you've been friends with forever.
So yeah,
fast.
I,
the thing.
I swear if I ever found that in somebody that I know's like
what, one of
closet
those
or something,
prosthetic sex parts?
yeah,
I'd be so scared,
Dude.
bro.
I was like, bro,
I would have
we had to
to
talk.
excommunicate them.
Would you
Later.
Hard
say
stop.
something?
86, my friend.
Would you say something or would you just ghost?
That's a good question. I think I would
Depends
probably.
on how good of a friend.
Bro, I think I would have to
here's,
just
here's a
ghost,
scenario.
bro.
Here's
That's
a
like-
scenario. Your friend doesn't have any chairs in his room. So he has like a beanbag, but he's chilling on the beanbag doing work, right? So he's just like, yo, you can play some video games. So you just flop on the bed, you play some video games, you drop the controller, right? You're like, oh, snap, dog. You go to get the controller, and you feel something like a pillow, and you're like, this feels like a really interesting pillow. You pull it out, it's just a fake booty.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, yeah. You well, what?
it's just a straight up booty cheeks. You just grab it, and it's just like two booty cheeks come out under the bed.
Yeah, well, yeah. I definitely got to say something
Well,
to my
no,
boy.
no, he left. He's out the
Oh,
room.
he
He's
left.
out the room. Yeah, he's like, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. You
right.
dropped the controller and you found the cheeks on the
I'm
bed.
quick sliding that back under there. That's what I'm doing for. I want to not touch that as long as I can.
For sure.
Right. And then I'm gonna be like, oh, dude, like my mom just called. I gotta go. And then I'm straight up never talking to that dude again.
What if he was just like, you found the cheeks, huh? I'll wash my hands immediately. man. It's like,
Dude,
gotta go
I
to the
mean,
bathroom, too.
no, that's it. That's
Bro.
and you were talking about Japan. I feel like Japan is like a big time market for that. Like they're very into like the weird.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it weird because like if you're into what you're into, but they're into like that market. Like they have
Yeah.
like the vending machines for like
Panties.
panties and stuff.
Yep.
And,
Japanese people are very conservative socially, but sexually they're very liberal. The age of consent there is 14. So
God.
yeah, it's a completely different world there. And see here, it's like, should we have transgender bathrooms? Should we have gender neutral bathrooms? In Japan, that talk is not like, nobody talks about that. People are like, look, if you want to dress up like a woman, do it. Society will not be accountable for your decisions. So their attitude there is whatever you're into, go ahead. Like it doesn't. So you can walk into a store, man, and literally find anything that you're into. Like it's not
Yeah.
here. Everything's taboo, an adult bookstore in Japan will have windows. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it goes down.
Do you think that is a? I hesitate to say better, but I guess I just can't really think of a better way to say it. But do you think that's a better way to be?
Well, I mean, that's really debatable. This
Like,
is
open about
going to
it?
be a deep conversation. So in Japan, there is quite a bit of sexual assault on the train, but it's groping. You know, women getting grabbed, right? Sexual assault is present here in the United States. I would venture to say, and I'm probably accurate by saying this, that it's definitely more prevalent in the United States than it is in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say that the sexual deviancy of Japan doesn't contribute to any of the crime. So then I would say that it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? They have a
Because they can be more open with it. They don't have to resort
Yeah,
to assault or
there's
harassment or something like that.
children's media is very sexually open too. It's not explicit, but it's very in Japan. It explains. There's female anatomy usually isn't censored. Male anatomy usually isn't censored. Here it is censored, and that's just something that is a cultural difference. So I feel like there's a lot more respect and understanding of sexuality in Japan.
Right.
Here, because it's so taboo, there's a lot of misconstruing that goes on, which leads to misunderstanding and conflict and controversy. In Japan, because everything is a bit more open, yes, it can be explicit, but at times there is a bigger understanding that comes from that explicitness. So I think Japan does it the right way. I don't think the age of consent should be 14.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that
the wild.
I think that's insane.
That's
I
wild.
think
Yeah,
that's
that
crazy,
is
and I
low.
do think that's wrong. But as far as like media and being open about how different people like different things, I don't see a drawback in Japanese society from that. So
Yeah.
yeah, they have it's like zero crime, dude. There was one person that got killed with a gun in Japan in 2017. There was like literally one gun death. It's wild.
Yeah.
Like there's not really a lot of crime that goes on there.
Same thing in Germany. Germany is also sexually liberated too.
Yeah, and they're super peaceful and super nice.
peaceful,
you know what I'm
super
saying?
nice people.
Yeah, but they're into some weird stuff.
Yeah.
very weird shit.
Yes.
Especially the club life. It gets strange,
Yeah, it gets strange.
and they're open about it.
Oh yeah.
Very open,
Yes.
and they're like, "Hey, welcome to Germany. Welcome to Berlin."
I do
Right.
I do
You know what I
think
mean?
generally that it's a better thing to be like, if you're into something, like, all right, well, this is me. I'm into
Right.
this, and that should
Right.
be it. I don't think like repressing it or hiding it or keeping it. I think
Mhm.
that just contributes to like maybe mental health issues or it
Right, but
contributes
then
to-
you have people who are into kids.
Yeah, so that I didn't want to take it there, but like
This podcast is going all the way, man.
yeah. So, I said earlier, like, hey, you're into what you're into, and that's cool.
Mhm.
But then it gets
There's
to
another
something like what
line.
you just said. So, like,
Yeah.
people are into that, and
Yeah.
they can't help it. It's like, to them, it's the same as being attracted sexually to a woman or being
Right.
sexually attracted to a man. It's just they're sexually attracted to a child.
The big question.
So
is,
you can't
yeah,
help it, but
What do we,
obviously that's not.
the big question is, what do we do with people in this society that live that way?
Yeah.
No one has an answer. I'm
'Cause
not
it's
expecting
one of
an
those
answer.
things where it breaks down to the DNA and the brain for stuff like that. It's like,
So I mean, if in
Can't-
that case,
can't
then
be
then you
explained.
have to do some sort of rehabilitation. But
but
how?
that's when the morality thing comes into play. And
How
like
do you-
what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
definitely wrong.
for sure.
Right.
But like I don't know, that's a tough one.
Yeah, man.
Because
that's
you
the
got to
big
remember,
question.
more than, I don't even know, was it less than 50 years ago, it was a crime to be gay in some places.
Yeah.
And there were shock therapy, cure therapy, and it's like that's just completely wrong. So
Right.
having sex or having sexual ideas about children will never be right.
Yeah.
Never be right. So it's just like it's such a weird way to like just even I don't even know how to think like
Me neither.
what's the correct way to handle it.
I don't, dude.
Because if it does break down to someone's DNA and you catch it when they're young, it's like how can we fix this?
Yeah.
That is a correct way to fix it.
I don't think you can. I mean, this sounds wrong.
But if you can't, then what do you do?
These people have to live in agony, meaning that they have to live in a world where they can never act on their most strongest desire.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it is. You're doomed to a life
That's
of agony.
that's brutal, but
brutal.
also-
but that's
Right.
it's the same thing if like somebody wants to kill somebody. Like you
exactly. It's
can't-
just
yeah.
that's
It's
exactly
more
what it's
so
like,
like
because
hurt-
you're killing the
hurt
innocence
people.
of somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
You're destroying this person.
It's like hurt people, you know? So
That is true, man.
if it's not down to DNA, then they were affected somewhere along in their life.
Yeah, it usually is a result of abuse, is what people say. But, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff that goes with it. This conversation got really deep, guys. It's 9:14. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on before we wrap it up?
Just give me a little bit
of Kingdom Hearts,
just a little bit, because we
All
haven't.
right. I was afraid to do this because I didn't want to alienate Brandon. But
No, go
also
for it.
just explain to him how you were blessed by Square Enix as well.
so what happened? What happened this week is that Kingdom Hearts was supposed to come out on January 29th.
Internationally.
I made a countdown for it internationally. I was very excited for the 29th. I was actually going to take off work for a little bit if I could to spend a whole day and play it. I ordered in June a collector's edition with the figures and stuff like that, just because I've been waiting for this game for so long. And it was pretty expensive, and it sold out in July. So I bought one of the last things, and I was watching the price go up on eBay, and I was wondering why the price was going so high. Come to find out, the game got shipped yesterday, which is the 25th, or no, the 26th. It got shipped to the 26th to my house, so I got it like 3 days ahead of everyone else, which was amazing. From my understanding, Sheldon told me that this has happened to other people, but like I'm probably one of the only people maybe in Philadelphia that has a copy of it early.
Definitely.
So
even a physical copy.
I've been playing it, and it's phenomenal. It's really interesting because I've been waiting so long to see how the story is going to end, and as soon as I start up the game, it's like a love letter to the fans, and I don't want to say anything else about it, but I do want to say that you're a long-time Kingdom Hearts fan, you're going to be in love right away. The first hour references every game. Every single game is referenced in the first hour, whether it's visually or in dialogue. And there's just moments that are so powerful. Like,
did the opening theme song make you emotional?
Yeah, because it was kind of an
4 minutes of recap.
It was an amalgamation of like, dude, I remember playing the second game when I was 12, and now I'm 25, and I'm, like my life is so different from what it is now. But with this controller in my hand playing this game, I felt the same way that like I played, where I was just like, dude, I can't wait to see what happens next.
Right.
Like that's all that was in my head. But I just want to really quickly talk about the mechanics. So in this game, you can wield 3 keyblades, and the way that you do it is on the command screen. You can go up and down with the arrow keys to select magic or items. You can go left and right to select your keyblades. So you can literally switch keyblade mid-battle
at any time.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
It's unbelievable. If you're aware of the gridlock system in Birth by Sleep, where you hold down R1 and you can target things, you can do that. Except instead of attacking, you can move to what you targeted to instantly.
The flow motion.
No. It's just so you go. You know how you're. But if you press square, Sora flies to the target like instantaneously. The mechanics as far as movement is so fast and effortless that combat feels like a dream.
Right.
And when I'm playing it, I'm like, okay, so there are elements from Birth by Sleep, because you can do the gridlock attack too. There are elements from Dream Drop Distance because it's all flow motion.
Right.
Once you get your attack counter up to a certain level, you can assume a form just by Birth by Sleep.
Right.
You can power up your Keyblade now, so like you can bring your Keyblade to a Moogle and add items to it and make it more powerful. The levels to what they did with the combat system in the first 2 games, they took that, combined with Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance, and took it to a completely new level.
Right.
Sora, any flat surface in the game, Sora can run up. He can go straight Naruto on any flat surface. So you can run just horizontally on anything, and it changes combat so fast.
Right.
So just for like the first few hours of the game, and I'm not going to spoil anything, I was just amazed at how fluid everything was, but the same feel was there.
Right.
The basic physics are there. The cutscenes feel the same, even though the graphics are still really good. Somebody was saying Kingdom Hearts, like the way they talk, how it's all like very spaced out, and it's about like heart, and it feels like super meta. It's like its own language. That doesn't go away.
Yeah.
And there's just charm, man. There's so much charm. Like, I want to say something to you right now, but like
Right.
I'm afraid to say it because I don't want you to be mad at me. It's like such a minor like story detail.
Just say it.
Okay,
Just say
when
it.
you come back to Twilight Town,
Yeah.
you run to Uncle Scrooge, and the first thing that Sora says to him is like, "Hey, weren't you selling ice cream in Radiant Gardens? Remember in Kingdom Hearts how he was like outside of the fridge with the ice cream?"
Damn.
And he goes, Donald goes, "Well, my uncle's a bit of a world traveler."
Right.
And you turn around and you see that he now has a bistro. He has like a huge restaurant. Right?
Damn, dude, that's heartwarming.
Yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, like this is my place now." He goes, "And I have the best chef in the world."
Right.
And you realize that the chef is actually Remy from Pixar. So like,
Ratatouille?
yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's dude. It's
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Obviously,
Right.
that isn't like a vital like story point.
Right.
And guess who works for him? Hayner, Pence, and Olette. They all work at the restaurant. So like it's just stuff like that where like you've played all the games and now
Right.
you're like everything's
It's
coming
a
together.
culmination.
Everything's coming together. Yeah. And
Right.
it's the biggest love letter to the fans that there
I
could
forgot
ever
about
possibly
that's
be.
such a small detail. That's such a lore.
Yeah.
That like.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah. So it's for the Kingdom Hearts nerds, man, and
Right.
you're gonna love it. I know you are.
Right.
If you're not deep in the story, if you're listening to this, you can jump in and have a lot of fun because I know the hype train is here. Please get on, buy it, support it, have fun.
9.7.
Damn,
But-
really?
Yeah,
Mhm.
but then if you're a fan, like I know Sheldon's super deep into Kingdom Hearts and has played all the games, this one is for you. Don't miss it. I'm trying to limit myself, like I said, an hour a day because I try and stay super productive during weekdays, weekends maybe 2 hours. It's my favorite Kingdom Hearts. Dream Drop Distance was my favorite. This immediately took the spot after the second hour.
I think Birth by Sleep was my favorite. That was such a
It's a great one.
crazy game.
Well, if you like Birth by Sleep, combat's very similar. There's a part where you switch to Riku for a brief moment. Playing as him is like, it's unreal. So you're gonna love it. So you're getting it tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm picking it up tomorrow at 9 p.m. Because I got the Xbox version because it's in 4K.
Yeah.
I don't have 4K PlayStation, so I got that, and yeah, I got to give you the disc so you can play all of them
Okay.
at
yeah.
the house. I have that for
Yeah.
PlayStation,
Okay.
so I'll give you the 1.5 plus 2.5 final mix. It doesn't come with. I don't have the 2.8 one. If you like these ones, and that'd be up to you if you want to get
into
actually,
that. Yeah.
I might have 2.8 digitally, so it might be on the
Okay.
PlayStation.
Yeah, try them out if you like them. But 3 is the hype train right now.
Yeah, I recommend people who like anyone who likes a Disney. Like, 1 might be hard to play in 2019 because it's like old.
It's older.
It's
Yeah.
old.
It's old, man.
From 2003.
Hasn't aged too well.
2 aged pretty well.
Yeah, 2.
Birth
is,
by
2's
Sleep
pretty good.
aged very well.
2 is pretty good, man. But 3 is on a whole nother level. It feels like you're playing a Disney cartoon, and
Yeah,
that's
and I got
that's
the
awesome.
steel
yeah,
box.
That's awesome.
so good.
I got the steel box, so
Sweet, man.
yeah.
Put that in the steel box. That's the first thing I did. Is I took it out the case and I just put it in the
It's
steel
going
box.
right in the
I
steel
was like,
box.
let's go. All these years of waiting.
Right.
But then when I looked at the title screen, I was like, do I really want to do this? Now I have nothing to look forward to.
Right.
Like I could die and then, that's it.
Whoa, that just got dark again.
I'm saying, man, like, dude, that was like,
Right.
I was
13-year wait, finally here.
Bow. That was the one video game I wanted to play, and now it's
Right.
finally here. So
Now you're just like, throw it away.
now I'm just like, what are games? What are games after Kingdom Hearts 3?
You're just like, time to grow up.
Oh man, but Brandon, thank you for being with us, man, and
Of course, man,
letting
I
us
appreciate
geek
it.
out and talk about throwing up and porn and all this crazy stuff that I had no intention of talking about today. But I appreciate it, man, and I
Yeah.
hope that you can come on again sometime
Love to.
just to chat it up.
Yeah.
So this has been episode 55. If you're still there, thank you for hanging in. We'll see you next time.
Peace.